Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your next day of the 2022 WCF Golf Croquet World Championship. This morning, your commentators will be John Reddish and Chris Clark. I will hand over shortly.
Good morning from Southwick. We've got an interesting match here this morning between Robert Fulford of England and Yasser Said of Egypt. I think for those of you who've watched Robert already this tournament, you'll have seen he's quite a patient player, lacks a bit of power, and Yasser isn't one of the big hitting Egyptians. He's more balanced than a lot of the Egyptians, so this should be quite an interesting tactical battle rather than just a pure power fest that you were treated to yesterday morning with Ahmed Naz playing Ewan Burridge. So Yasser was a member of the Egyptian Openshaw Shield team last time they played, playing at 5 and 6, just in the odd match. And Robert Fulford, current Open champion here, and unbeaten in quite a lot of matches now. So won everything during the British Open and unbeaten here, despite dropping the odd game. And he's won a couple of Open weekends. He's won the Parkton Open weekend. So really sort of building a big run, Robert. Still nowhere near the top of his game. He wants to do some more hoop running practice. That's what he keeps saying. I want to do an hour's hoop running practice. But it's so difficult with the games finishing late on here, John.
Well, yes, they've been late nights, I think. I don't know what time it was last night.
Well, I mean, the night before they ended up pegging down several games and turned up the following morning and the Seagulls had pegged the pegging down markers out of the lawn.
Ah, well, yes, they tend to do that sort of thing. Anyway, we've got, you mentioned Robert, and I happen to have to hand a copy of the programme, in which Robert presumably wrote it himself, and it's very typical, I suppose, in that he, having said that he's one of the most successful association croquet players, which of course is true, he says that GC's achievements are more modest.
I think that's true. Yeah. It's absolutely true. He's never won a medal in this event, and he's looked very vulnerable in past events. I remember first time he played out in New Zealand, in Hawke's Bay, and he was really struggling with the wind.
Yeah.
And yesterday we had this gorgeous day.
Yes, indeed. It started a bit like this. We probably should mention that there is, as I came here, there was a sea threat, I think that they might call it.
Yes.
Some might also call it sort of Peter K. rain, but that's a technical term based on the British TV. And it's just, I think it's going to cure, isn't it?
It's meant to. It's meant to.
Well, I can tell you what, it's now 19 degrees. In tropical Great Britain, as I was describing it yesterday, and it's cloudy and overcast. And
there's definitely a breeze. Robert will notice this as a breeze. For most people, they might not really notice it, but Robert will call this wind.
It's not that. I mean, you look at the flags, the Fiji Town, it's not too bad. But yes, Robert says that he's won a few domestic titles and the East Anglian Championship a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's of course, being an East Anglian myself these days, I appreciate that. But now we've got
Yasser Said,
who is a youngster.
Yeah, how old are you? You're about 20-ish.
He plays at the Zamalek Club. He achieved third place in the Under-21 World Championships in 2019, and second place in the World Team Championship in 2020. I was about to say last year, but the years have gone by.
They have indeed.
2021 went by without much interest from the high-level croquet because we were locked out, locked in, or whatever. Anyway, yesterday, those who were watching saw some let's call it indifferent play, and some rather slow play. I had a word with one of the participants who felt it was a bit slow, but it's in normal terms, in terms of the game as a whole, it wasn't that bad.
No, I've been completely happy, really, this event. One of the things I've said to other people is the first couple of days of the event, I think, it's been better than normal. Normally, you turn up to these events and there's half a dozen matches that are just ranked bad.
Yeah.
And this time, really, it's been a high quality start, even from the people playing at 6, 7, 8, those seeds. We've had some big wins. Peter Payne beating Blake Fields. Nelson Morrow picking up wins. These people at the bottom of the blocks picking up a couple of wins. Really good to see. Really good to see.
Well, they're off and running.
And that's a fantastic start.
The start like that is really very impressive. He's right in front of the hoop.
Robert might feel the need to shoot at that twice. It's so good. I mean, it's 4 foot dead straight, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's the way to go if you can. And, we have just had a little walk over just to check how good it was, but it's fun.
Yeah, this is Robert shooting. Different sort of pre-shot technique for Robert, depending on whether he's shooting or taking position.
Yeah.
And he's got Savage and Allison walking behind his shot. So
yes,
just 3 stalks and starts from scratch again. It's a good lesson for anyone watching. There's always things going on around you that can off-put. But anyone walking directly behind you, you just start again, and then try and block as much of the rest of it out as you can.
Nice smooth stroke.
And again, when he starts walking quickly after a ball, it normally means he's missed.
Yeah,
John.
Well, he can tell. This is something we encountered yesterday, that from where we, in our fixed position, we don't necessarily have the ability to pick up the angle. And I am aware that if you're watching on the screen, you do have that ability. So you think, what are these commentators talking about? Of course it's wide.
And that sea fret you mentioned earlier, just coming in again, a few little drops of, I wouldn't call it rain, moisture.
I think it's precipitation.
Yes.
There's some higher cloud, but some rather dark cloud, which is not the best conditions, although the tropical sun which we've had over the last several weeks has been rather problematic.
I'm told it's meant to get up to 25 this afternoon, so just a matter of getting the cloud burn off this morning.
My bit of technology is telling me that the high is going to be 21.
Oh,
so, but it may be wrong.
More up to date than my basic Met Office stuff.
Well, yes, there are so many weather forecasters available to those of us who have presence of technology. Now, here's a thing that happens quite a lot, and people will be fearing it, is that the players ask for the hoops to be hammered in, and I know that they want them to be tight, but I would suggest that they might be overdoing that a bit.
Yeah, the Egyptians particularly like them put down. They don't like the fact that we set them with the carrot slightly proud.
Yeah.
And the reason for viewers as to why that is as the day progresses, we can keep just tapping them down a wee bit, and they're not sinking an inch under the ground then. So if you start them proud, you've got the ability just to firm them up gradually as the day progresses.
Well, we hope now that the technology is being operated, and we now know that NASA has gone one up.
And Rob's tried to take position at hoop 2 wide from blue. The good news is it's nicely in front of hoop 2, but it's just gone open. So I'm pretty confident blue can squeeze past that hoop and get that red ball.
Nevertheless, a very competent shot.
And we got Graham good on the mobile camera, so hopefully we'll get a few more close-ups today. He's got some camera problems, so possibly not. He might have to do some fixing. So Yasser plays in, not quite as tight as Robert. He's given himself a 2-yard straight hoop. And Rob will just put another ball in here. You won't see Robert do a lot of long clearing. He'll be playing positionally throughout the match, trying to there put yellow past the red to block blue at red. But it's open.
Yes, it's one of the, I think, from the point of view of the sort of normal club player, as I might describe myself, and perhaps anticipating that one or two people watching will do the same thing.
Great shot.
The most impressive thing is the clearing. I mean, it's just extraordinary when they take it on and get it and all that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of club players won't have the same level of power either. That was a lovely central clearance there by Yasser, moving Robert for probably 17 yards away.
There's another little interesting feature of Robert's play, and that is his mallet, which is bent at the end.
So Rob's been playing with this. So that's good. He's just about moved it. It is runnable, but it's tough now. So he's been playing with this angled bent mallet at the top now for a few years.
Well, I can claim that I mentioned it because I had a particular interest in it. I actually delivered it to him from Alan Pidcock.
There you go. And a very interesting play there by Yasser with black. Has basically just played in a few inches close to the hoop, giving yellow an easy clearance. And now lots of you might think yellow's going to stop shot this away, and that is indeed what he's done. That's fundamentally completely wrong. You need to make sure yellow gets off the boundary. It's black. Blue's now going to play in, and unless red clears the blue, black's just going to smash yellow away to corner 3. So that's a standard position where that's just tactically wrong by Rob, which I wouldn't expect. You'd normally just clear it half ball, get your ball off the boundary. He now has to shoot at blue with red, from my perspective. And you don't want to do that. You'd much rather have your ball on the boundary, the yellow ball, which is unclearable. So because he hasn't got that, he's now got to take this, 12-yard shot. Great shot. And now he's in a good position. But yeah, getting yellow in a more defensive position would have allowed him not to need to take that shot.
I must advise all the club players who are watching this to take in what you said, because that's thinking ahead 2 or 3 shots, which of course most people don't do.
Equally, it is a completely different game at club level, because you're not going to hit your 7-yarder 9 times out of 10.
No,
whereas these players are. So this will be a sensible clearance on black. And some people say, why hasn't he stop-shotted black away? And all he's tried to do is move black so it can't run the hoop, leave yellow in front of the hoop, and leave red a clearance on black. Yasser trying to play in tight to the hoop. And again, I mentioned it before, it's when Robert tries to increase his power level nowadays, he loses the accuracy.
Well, that happens to most of us. Yes, I mean, it is. I also mentioned yesterday, and I think you did and another place, and the plumes of sand, which are very obvious to us here. I'm not sure how clearly they come up on the broadcast pictures, but the lawns were sanded, I think, a couple of days before the tournament began, and with the aim of making sure that they remain as smooth and flat as possible.
Yeah, they did a very deep verticut just before the tournament, and it just looked a little bit too deep to me, which is why they needed the sand on top of it. I'm a big fan of verticutting directly before a tournament. Normally speeds the lawns up by a full second, and you take off such a vast amount of grass. You can't believe how much grass comes out when you verticut them. And Rob back to his normal accuracy there, mid-pace clearance, back to good control. So he did well to generate that. It was really quite a short clearance, John, wasn't it? It was about 4.5 yards.
It was, and that's one that many of us would hope to make.
Yes, and I think Rob would not just be trying to make it, but possibly hit it on the left-hand side, getting his ball over to hoop 3.
Well, it is said, and rightly I think, that you should try and do 2 things every time you play.
Yep.
At least 2 things.
One is obviously the priority over the other,
Yes.
and that was hitting the ball away, which he didn't do.
Yeah,
But
that's always the problem.
that shot there is what is making Rob massively competitive at the moment. Positional shot, he's got 4 foot dead straight in front of his hoop from the opposite boundary. Oh, that's fabulous centre ball clearance, comfortably getting yellow off the far side of the lawn, and blue is 2 foot dead straight in front of the hoop. Rob's going to be shooting from, this is close to 25 yards away, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's looking less than satisfactory from Robert's point of view, and 2-0 prediction. I mean, points, not in games. But
Yeah, no, I think this is going to be a close match. I don't think it's going to be the fast match we had yesterday. I think there's going to be lots of this competitive hoop like we've had at hoop 2, which might take several rotations to actually resolve.
well, here comes the...
Interesting, he was walking after it knowing he'd missed, and Rob Standard misses on the right, which is where he missed that clearance. He'll probably miss 75% of his shots on the right when he misses, and 25 on the left. Only just. That took a lot of wire, but it's good enough.
Well, there was a match, for those who were watching yesterday afternoon, where a number of those shots were played, and I was saying, well, I was always surprised not to hit it so hard. There's no point in hitting it hard from there, because you're only going to go off the boundary at great distance.
Yeah, a lot of the top players find that they shoot straighter with a firm swing. And that's not just the Egyptian players. Even at AC, you can watch people playing an association croquet break, and they'll get a nice straight hoop 8, and they'll run it off the boundary.
Oh, yeah.
So Yasser is taking the immediate option of clearing red here, and I think that's a good option. This is a much shorter shot with black.
It's missed.
Again, possibly not trying to hit it in the middle, probably trying to hit it a little bit off centre on the left, which is the side he missed. So red goes to the non-running boundary, and black goes to the boundary that can run the hoop.
Yeah.
But equally, that's the second part of the prize. The first part of the prize is hitting it.
Well, I had the benefit of being coached by one of the coaches of the year, the late David Collins. His words to me echo in my ear every time I could just hit it.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
None of this trying to cut it sideways.
So just looking at Yasser's technique, it's pretty standard for an Egyptian. So it's Irish grip. He's left-handed. Not many of them are left-handed. And he's using, again, a pretty normal Egyptian mallet. He's got a 9-inch head, very light. The power is generated through mallet head speed through the ball rather than weight of mallet. And yeah, that standard Irish grip, giving him a lovely flat swing.
Slightly hampered by the hoop there, perhaps my miss, if anyway Robert's gone through to get himself, as they say, onto the scoreboard.
Yeah, hoop moved a long way there, took a lot of wire, definitely flopped a bit. Yesterday afternoon, I thought on some of the lawns, the hoops were standing up really well, and overall, they're much more difficult to run than 6 weeks ago at the Open.
Yes, but that was... Oh, no, that was here. Well, you mean the GCF? Yes,
Yeah.
The comparison was made for me yesterday between the hoops here and the hoops at Hurlingham, which was for the Open AC, which was 2 weeks ago. And they were thought to be rather straightforward.
The hoops at Hurlingham for the AC Open were unbelievable. I've never seen hoops like that in my life. It was...
Well, you have to know the members at Hurlingham don't like a tight hoop, and rightly so. You want to play this game, not bounce off all the hoops.
The way I described it was normally when you see a ball run a hoop, it slows down as it goes through it, doesn't it? And at Hurlingham, we turned up, and there was a visual perception that it was speeding up as it was going through the hoop, because it just wasn't slowing down. So it felt like it was speeding up.
Well, it's that's the but the. My sources, of course I won't reveal them, because Simon Carter wouldn't let me do that, but anyway, he said the lawns are
Great shot, right, Rob. Clear as
lawns
black.
are very good, but the hoops have been pretty tight, and they had to reset them on lawn 4 last evening, I think, because they were really tight.
Yeah, so that was Jenny's match, and basically they found the black ball wouldn't go through a couple of the hoops before it started.
Yeah.
And they tried to get a new black ball, but unfortunately we've sort of run out of sets of primaries. And she was playing Hanan Rashad, originally from Egypt, now from Canada. And they're just not used to using secondary colours. So quite rightly she said, no, I want to use primaries. And so the only option was to just widen the hoops a bit to make sure all the balls went through. But having reset them, those two players were gentle hitters comparative to the men, and the hoops just stood up for 3 hours, and they must have failed about 40 hoops between them in that 3 games.
Certainly, I wasn't
2
counting,
games.
but
2
it was
games.
a lot.
So yeah, they were definitely much firmer. Great shot from Rob. So that's a 15-20 yard clearance followed by a good 3-yard hoop, and he's equalised it at 2-all.
And again, for the less accomplished players, you saw how the spin imparted got the ball through the hoop.
Yeah, I'm a big fan with these that have a little bit of give to make sure that your ball has stopped skidding by the time it reaches it, and it's reached the top spin stage.
Yeah.
I think if you can get it top spinning, you can hit the wire and still get in the jaws, occasionally get through. Whereas if you're slamming at them and it's still skidding, there you've got to hit the middle of the hoop then.
Yep. Well, I mean, and it's all to do with the follow through. Follow through with the shot and impart the spin, and then it'll help you.
I just want to comment on this. This is now my standard coaching tactic. A few years ago, this wasn't particularly standard. So it's blue plays in, red plays in, and then black clears red. Traditionally, black would play in trying to block yellow at blue. But nowadays, I feel that the standard tactic should be, it still maybe isn't always, for black to take that 6-7 yarder on red, clear it off the lawn, This time he's only managed to flick it, and he's actually left it in even better hoop running position. And Rob's hit partner instead of blue, and he's been very lucky to bounce off and clear the blue. So he's still alive in the hoop, but missed that by a good ball. So the reason blue hasn't gone straight in front of the hoop there, 2 feet in front, is it's too easy for yellow to clear it.
Yeah.
They're just trying to give yellow a longer clearance towards the south boundary rather than towards corner 4. Rob plays in. It's another excellent shot. Every time you can do that at an odd hoop, you think you've got a chance of winning the even hoop that follows.
Absolutely. We're getting the C fret again. Don't think so, but right, actually. Put your jacket on. Sorry for the noise that we created.
Another nice ball in. Might have looked at blocking yellow at blue, but Black's in good running position, and Rob's clearance, again, it's a twofold thing, isn't it? Number one, he's got to clear it to the south boundary. Number two, wouldn't it be nice to get Black in the way of blue's clearance at red?
Well,
He's done neither.
That's not so good, is it, really? His own ball has gone almost out of commission.
And Yasser has more power than Robert, and he can take this up past hoop 3 with a nice central hit. Very unlucky. Rush peels the red through hoop 5, and
That can happen.
it's part of golf croquet, isn't it? There's this historical challenge as to who's the luckiest player in England, and David Openshaw claims he is, but from what I've seen, Robert Fulford has a genuine claim on it himself.
Well, he can claim some of the play. He had put the ball into the position where it could be hit through the hoop.
Correct. Every time you do that, you've got a chance, haven't you?
Yeah. So that was...
So there's a question on the chat from Paddy Chapman.
Yep.
He'd like to ask Chris what Chris thinks of the new Ultra hoops.
It's a good question. I haven't played with them, and I haven't seen them in play yet, Paddy. So they're at Cheltenham on all the lawns, and they've got very long carrots. They're cylindrical, and I think the square carrot is technically better, but equally we do know that the longer the carrot, the more difficult the hoop is. So when we play in Egypt, they've got these massive long carrots, and they're definitely challenging hoops in Egypt. So the longer carrot is clearly going to make them more difficult. Arguably, particularly in the UK where you get stony ground, they might be more difficult to actually get into the ground, because you might find a stone that's a few inches deeper than you might normally go. Reports back say they're challenging. I know Alison Sharp thought they were quite difficult. We've had a fantastic July in the UK, so any clubs that don't overwater their lawns are going to get quite firm subsoil, and I think they're genuinely interesting, and obviously a little bit cheaper than they're quite expensive Atkins hoops. So I'm looking forward to seeing them in use, and I'll report back on the knots list or somewhere when I've been there.
Debbie here again. I'm going to chip in at this point. I played with them a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, they are quite challenging. They do not like jawsing at all. You get a lot of bouncing back when you try and jaws, which makes the game dynamic a bit different.
Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it?
Well, the CA has sort of committed itself to them. We've acquired quite a lot of them. I think they're going to put them in, and we're looking forward to using them at Hurlingham, actually. We mentioned before that the members at Hurlingham don't care for them, but of course these new South African hoops are set for the 32nd.
Yeah.
And so rather than do anything remarkable with their own hoops, they've bought a whole set of the Ultras, and they will put them into the championships. higher level competition.
And this is a long hoop here from Yasser. 8 yards straight hoop 6. One of those positions the players regard as a free go. Couldn't really take any good hoop running position because the red was all over it. So he's decided to have what they think is a free go. Having hit the hoop, did he flick off the yellow there? I think he might have flicked off the yellow. So blue would be onside were Robert to run this.
Another reference to the offside rules.
Very good, very good. That will give him a lot of confidence. It's his hoop running he wants to get better. And he's just run that smoothly off one wire. And black's slightly hampered getting to 7. So he might have to either play a slightly hampered shot or he could roll up behind yellow. I think he can get there. So, update on the score. Robert was 2-0 down, and now is 4-2 up. Yas has just played slightly long there, but I do think it's still runnable. Rob playing in, he'll play close to black here. Yeah, managed to sneak behind the black. Possibly got black in the way of blue clearing yellow. And I think blue's going to play good position. A nice shot from blue. Fairly straight hoop. And Rob will just clear the black with the red. Can't leave black there, even if the hoop isn't particularly easy, because black can just snuggle up to that yellow ball, giving it no shot at blue. So he has to move this.
We have a slight problem. Our camera is right in line.
Yeah, he's just making sure that Tudor doesn't get hit. In the middle again. It's been a good section. After he missed that 4.5 yarder at hoop 2, you really can't argue with his play after that.
Oh.
Yasser playing back in, trying to block yellow at blue. Slightly overrun, but the second part of the shot, getting in front of the hoop, achieved. And Rob will want to take this off the lawn, simply to get the difficulty of blue taking position again up there. I think that's just about made it to the boundary.
Well, it's good judged.
Moving yellow a little bit away from black, just in case blue comes back. If blue does get hoop running position, he is going to be in a weak position here, 2 balls down. And that's short. So, if Robert can clear black, he's going to be back in the hoop again. Would have preferred hitting it on the other side, but he's back in the hoop now. After a couple more clearances, he'll have a side boundary position which is much stronger than the in-lawn position he's got at the moment. He'll have clearances going to longer boundaries. Yasser will be trying to take hoop position behind the blue so yellow can't hit it. Fractionally too far, so Rob will clear that immediately. Again, this golden rule, if you can clear the ball that's just played before you, it's much stronger than clearing the ball that plays directly after you. And again, you might think it's a really bad shot, but he'll have aimed off centre because he wants to hit it on the right hand side, getting off the north boundary. And obviously you're right, it is a bad shot, because John's quite rightly highlighting number one priority is hit the bloody ball.
It's words that echo in my ears.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm from, just hit it.
Easy block there for Yasser, only had to move it a couple of inches, but I think he's left it a quarter ball short. I think Rob's got a quarter of black here.
I suppose the instruction justice is more for facing, because
Yes.
you can recover the next shot.
I was famous for hitting my rushes in the middle, John, because I just wanted to take croquet and have 2 more goes.
Right, here we go.
Yeah, he got that quarter ball. He had a little think as to, should I clear the quarter ball or should I take the double clearance on? But if you've got an open shot at a ball, you're much more likely to clear that than the double clearance. Yasser again trying to do 2 things, trying to get black in front of the hoop and block yellow's shot at blue. And again, I think he's just overhit it, but he is straight in front of the hoop. So he had got the block. Rob decided his best chance of winning this hoop was going to be running it from the north boundary. You can see how much that hoop gave when Yasser wobbled it. And yesterday afternoon, on that lawn 4, they weren't moving very much at all. So good opportunity with the blue now to run it all the way down to 8 and hopefully pick up a couple of hoops and square them game up at 4 all. Rob's run of 4 consecutive hoops should be broken now.
I've got some marks now. So
What were they doing yesterday? He was trying to double clearance. And I thought he said face perfect. But every chance of mine would take an angle, which if he wasn't trying to go double tap.
And again, ooh, that's pretty handy. Not quite as good as running at hoop 8, but he's managed to bounce back to 2 foot dead straight in front. Rob will,
A bit greedy, some might think.
yeah, Rob's actually got 2 quite good balls now. Both of these balls have double targets, blue and hoop 8. So he'll be anticipating having 2 interesting double targets. It's close. Oh! That was the middle of the double. Missed blue on the right, hit the left-hand wire of the hoop. And that's the sort of thing you'd be aiming at the middle, John.
Yeah.
So, in many ways, it's a confidence builder.
On the other hand, it's a long way away.
Now, the problem is that there's a danger now. If Yasser was able to play good position, I think the hoop was in the way, which is why he's played wide, but had he been able to get black 3 foot in front of the hoop, if yellow missed, instead of running hoop 8, blue could have cleared red miles away whilst getting over to hoop 9. When you 4-3 down, It's always something you're looking to do. But anyway, black's not in position, so now yellow's got this second chance of a double target. Now, it doesn't often miss by that far on the left, but easy hoop for Yasser to square this game up 4-all. And I was talking in one of the commentaries yesterday with Nelson about how important hoop 9 is. You always find the first ball to hoop 9, it's so crucial to get straight running position.
Side there and standing.
So both these players good positionally. Can Rob now put this a yard straight in front? Well, the answer's no. It's runnable, I think, but it's not straight. It's probably 2 feet short of straight. Yeah, you can see Yasser's looking at it. What does it look like? 25 degrees? 30? Something like that?
Well, there are certain tolerances, and 30 degrees is always quite important. What I want to know is, how did this 20-year-old get as good as this?
He's been playing a long time, I think is the answer.
Mm-hmm. But not as long as Robert.
Not as long as Robert, no. But equally, his body isn't falling apart like most of us 50-year-olds.
Well, youngsters, you know. I mean,
So Robert's had wrist problems for several years now, and yeah, he's particularly struggling at the moment with his wrist. So he's trying, when he's doing his practicing, to use a swing trainer.
yeah.
So that doesn't have the Malaton ball impact. So sort of saves his wrist for actually gameplay. But obviously, he'd rather hit balls. It's just a matter of the swing trainer's the easiest of the options to take. So Blue's played in there, and it's moved to a position where if Robert can cut this black ball on the right hand side and move it up the east boundary, when black clears yellow, Blue's probably going to get moved as well. So yeah, I think he'll be taking this. He might risk taking it quarter ball even. It's just how confident is he? We saw that one earlier where he just missed completely, but this is only about 2.5 yards. That's good.
That's the shot.
That's the shot. So now, this is really tricky. How hard do you hit this? You've got to hit it hard enough that yellow moves out of hoop running position, but the harder you hit it, the more Blue's going to go to the western side of the lawn.
Yeah. So that's why he's pondering.
He might even decide not to clear if the balls are really tight together, and he might just say, well, my best chance is to try and block yellow.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's looking up and thinking about it.
Yeah, it was a really good shot from Rob.
Probably ought to mention that you know more about Robert Fulford's play than most. You grew up together
Well,
in croquet.
as much as you can do. When I was in Lancashire to start with, and he was in Colchester, but no, Robert's parents have got 4 sons, and his mum calls me her number 5 son.
Yeah.
So it's been very kind and generous to me over many years, Robert's family. So I think he's trying not to hit this in the middle. He's trying to hit it on the left-hand edge. Yeah, missed on that left-hand side.
Yeah.
And that's because he couldn't afford to hit it in the middle. I think it was going to be ball on ball, and yellow's going to stop dead.
Yeah.
Still in hoop running position. So,
Yeah, well, it's obviously a shot that gave him cause of concern, because he doesn't ponder a lot.
Yeah.
Doesn't really need to.
but back-to-back good shots. Lovely clearance, that by Rob. Just, quarter ball, flicking it to the boundary. And now if he can back it up with a good hoop 9, he'll have the blue sort of psychologically hampering him, but I don't think it should affect the shot. If it was going to be potentially in his way, he would call a referee to have it watched. but it's just more in your mind rather than anything else.
Yes, the sort of feeling that you might damage you might. Yeah, so I think that was the problem, wasn't it? It's the fact that the ball is there.
Absolutely.
Not,
And
not actually affecting it, but it was psychologically there.
in terms of importance, where we mentioned, the approach to 9 and how important hoop 9 is, and that comparatively basic failure is just going to swing this game completely round, particularly if Yasser doesn't play the sort of firm hoop shot he's played before up to north boundary and can actually run this by 15 yards up in front of hoop 10. The question is, what is he going to do? Is he just going to thrash at it firmly to the north boundary, or is this one where he's going to risk?
Well, we should mention that the ball, the hoop has been hammered in with great precision and force by the tournament director.
Yeah, he's going hard at this, John. There's no attempt to run this smoothly. And he's got lucky, got lots of wire, and that's in front of 10.
Yeah. Fortune favouring the brave hitter.
And Rob's going to want to take about 2.5 foot position between blue and the hoop here. You can't afford to give blue an easy clearance. You've got to threaten what you mentioned earlier, blue clearing red and maybe hitting the hoop. So that needs to go another 2 feet. Too easy a clearance for blue.
Yeah.
But it's only a clearance for useful clearance for blue if black's in position. And black's over on the west hand boundary, so far from easy. And let's see if he can play another good positional shot.
More familiar faces, familiar to me, but
Don with it.
it was Don Beck,
Yeah.
the celebrated organiser.
Yeah, big fan of mine is Don. Big fan.
He's
Lovely, just beautiful, beautiful shot. It was clear to me at the under-21s 3 years ago that the balance in Yasser's game was going to make him a very strong player. And I don't like someone who's purely clearer and hooper.
yeah.
Eventually that goes off and you can't run all your 3-yard hoops. But if you keep taking position like that from the side boundary, it's pretty good. So Yasser's looking for a position where he can clear the red, where red won't be able to hit the black. That looks really quite close. Rob's just making sure Yasser gets the chance to put it back on, because Yasser had a better angle as to exactly where it went off. Rob would sort of side onto it.
And causing to allow Toby Savage to play on the other lane without being movement in his line of sight.
It's a good match on lawn 6 next door to us. We've got Ahmed El Mahdi from Egypt against Toby Savage from England in the first game at 4-all. Nicely competitive. But we'll go back to Rob's shot here. Has he got a shot? Yeah, he's lining up his shooting grip, so he's definitely open on the black ball. And misses on the right. And this isn't straight. Yes, he's going to have the hoop knocked down again. But it's definitely off straight.
We've got Dr. King available. We've got a good time with it. Dr. King
Here comes Don.
deferring to the aforementioned Dr. Beth of Safety. You could do with a heavier hammer, you think?
It's hopeless hammer. Not Don's fault at all. But when you end up hitting them on the side, they actually become looser. So you had 2 where he hits it gently on top, which was fine. Third one hits it on the side, and then you've got to hit it again. So they need just, heavier hammers.
Well, we've also got in shot some interesting trousers.
Irish trousers. Irish trousers, John.
That's not an Irish green. That's a finder's jacket green. Combination of the two.
And Yasser's not happy with this hoop. It's 20 degrees.
Mm.
Not easy, and he knows if he fails it, yellow's got a straight hoop. Much longer, but straighter. He's playing gently here, I think. When he sort of moves down a little bit, I think that's his gentle, trying to jaws. Now let's see his hands
You're
again.
looking at his grip.
I am. Yeah, here we go. That's a gentle one, trying to get in front. And one of Robert's weaknesses is his jump shot.
But has it gone off? Well, it needs to jump again.
Has to jump it, has to take the shot on.
Yeah, he's thinking. You will know what he's thinking.
It's interesting, the fact he's thinking indicates black possibly might not be dead straight in front.
Stuck on the right hand wire.
Yes.
It's stuck on.
Plumb in front of the right hand wire.
Ah, so that's right. So we've got someone with a better angle saying it's stuck on the right hand wire. So what Rob wants to do is take position so black can't hit yellow, but also blue can't hit yellow. Debbie suggested in off. It would have to be quite well over on the right hand wire to be an off to be on. I fancy
His angle's not
just jumping it.
He would 2 feet this way, you know.
This is a straight jump shot.
I don't like it though.
He's not a good jumper. What I call a cardigan.
Ah, yeah, I know.
Not a good jumper.
Yeah, I know.
Good choice.
JP Mobley, one of the best cardigans in the world.
Good choice.
Yep, Ewan likes that choice.
If he,
Seems to look that he's got the block on blue as well.
if he hits the right hand wire, black comes back and goes a foot in front of the hoop.
So if it's touching, yeah, blue could play firmly into that right hand wire just to try and ping black in front. Alternatively, he could play a sort of gentle shot, trying to move black and get blue in position. But yeah, something that moves black.
Not
Well, we don't know. Was he trying to go through the hoop, or was he going to try that shot I mentioned earlier of moving black away from the hoop whilst getting blue in front? So now,
it's now become a little bit complicated.
well, now he's in all sorts of trouble. All sorts of trouble. Just nudging black in front, leaving yellow an easy jump shot.
He's might be able to run on the ground.
Ewan didn't like that. We should say that we've got some expert opinion lurking within our earshot. Ewan Burridge of England, not Wales, and Richard Bilton of England. Interesting characters both, since I know both of their fathers.
Richard's had a really good event so far, already qualified for the knockout, and has got chances to come second in his block. So he'll be in relaxed mode today. Day off.
What's that?
That's what,
Yeah.
I can't see what's happening.
Yeah, but
So-
red's not wide from blue.
Well, I think the logic here is red is wired from blue. So instead of Rob taking on a jump shot and risking peeling the black by not getting the ball off the ground, he's just nudged black away, potentially giving red an even bigger
Yeah.
hoop with
Well,
yellow.
and yellow comes towards
And
the
yellow
left.
comes towards hoop 9, hoop 11. And blue looks like it's stuck behind the hoop. So this is one of the things I like about the non sort of smashy games. You get these interesting tactical scenarios.
That's the wrong ball if he plays black.
I think he's looking at clipping black. So, because at the moment black can't get to 11. So he needs to move black, just from a future game point of view. You know, even when Rob runs the hoop, he wants black to be able to get to 11. That's what he's looking at now. So some sort of shot giving up the hoop, but making sure that both blue and black can get to the next hoop.
Well, it's causing him a lot of provoking thoughts.
Yeah, the problem with flicking black is blue goes down a bad line as well. So whilst black can get to 11, blue's potentially going to be blocked from clearing and might just have to play in. He's got blue far enough away there. I think that's okay. So the question is, can red play the hoop off the yellow to move the yellow towards 11, or does it just have to run it directly? Rob looking at the angle he needs to hit the yellow at. It's probably one of those where it is fractionally easier to run it straight, but the value of playing it off the yellow is substantial.
Got to play it off yellow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, I don't like leaving yellow there. But from this angle, we just can't see what angle he has on the yellow. So is it going to be just run the hoop firmly and try and hope the yellow moves a little bit? He tried to run it off the yellow. That's flicking the yellow through. And not sure black's very jumpable. So I think we'll see black take straight position in front, making sure that it's not at an angle where after blue clears red it goes into black, so a little bit his side the hoop, and Robert will shoot at the blue.
Well, we have to.
And he wants to hit blue either in the middle or on the left hand side.
So doesn't want to give him a shot from behind the hoop.
That's correct. Well,
Good.
number one target done, and I think it's good enough.
Yeah, I mean, any kind of square on or
Yeah,
reverse angle is going to make this almost impossible.
I think there's going to be a lot of people watching this who are hard hitters are going to go, well, he's going to try for his little widget and move it out. I don't think he is. He's 5-4 up. He's going to get a good ball halfway to 11. Yeah. The Egyptian players watching this, Mohammed, give that a round of applause, a brave, because that's the correct tactical choice. Protect your lead at 5-4. It's going to be 5-all, and black and blue are both really strong balls. They're much better than red and yellow. And Yasser's strong favourite, probably 75% now to go 6-5 up from here.
And that's not a good start.
Yeah, that's good. Dead straight. Is Rob going to shoot once or twice? This is taking position.
Well, again, as always, there are options. He's choosing a different.
He wants to take position in a position where when blue clears him, there's a chance for blue clearing black as well. And that isn't that. There's no chance of black being moved with this shot, and Yasser's just going to smash this. Yeah, lovely shot. Kept great control of that blue. That blue's useful both for 11 and 12. And now Rob's forced with one of these tough shots. The question is, does he think he's sufficiently down in the hoop that he doesn't shoot at black and tries to run 11? That's what I'm probably going to do here. I'm going to take the hoop on. He went for black and he's missed on the right.
So, you're right as to the potential score.
No, you see, I thought that hoop was firm when he wobbled it. So I wouldn't be wanting anything done with that.
I hope they just want to keep the referees interested. And here comes one of our former commentary people.
And shout out to Richard. I mean, Richard had a really good Open Championship, won 3 matches in his block, and then went and qualified for the main qualifier knockout over at Compton. So very unlucky. I think he ended up being first reserve.
Yeah.
So player 65, which isn't the best player number to get in a 64 player event.
Yeah.
And again, from there, that really was short and straight, John, wasn't it?
Oh.
And all of the New Zealand team are going to try and run that in front of hoop 12. And there was no effort to do that there.
Well, that's, yes. I think that, yeah, well, I mean, I had
That's
to
a bit
withhold my
short.
comment because Robert was standing right next to us
Yeah.
when he played that one.
It's in front. He'll be disappointed with it. It's not a guaranteed hoop from that position. He expects to get something he's going to run 9 times out of 10. Needs to get, yeah, it's got past it. And perfectly in front of the hoop. And the natural next play is red to play in front near blue. And then black to have quite a long shot, actually. It's about 14 yards, trying to clear the yellow up to the north boundary. But Rob
What
needs
I would
to...
regard as a somewhat optimistic shot.
Yeah, it's a tough shot. Rob will want to get a better red than he's got a yellow. He won't want to be forced to run this yellow.
I have a feeling he's going to have to. But
But he's definitely not going to have to run with yellow now, because red's better.
yeah,
So he's either going to have to shoot back from the north boundary. But I think if Yasser misses this, Rob won't run the hoop. He'll clear blue.
yeah. Well,
Great
he hasn't
shot
missed
in the
it.
middle,
He
and
has
it's
done exactly what he said.
has it reached?
It has.
It has. That's clearing that off the north boundary is really impressive. These lawns aren't quick.
Well, I think I described it as optimistic. Phenomenal is another word that springs from that.
The only positive from Robert is he's got a double. Nothing worse than being cleared to north boundary and finding hoop 6s in the way of everything. At least he's got some sort of shot.
Now a vital piece of equipment has just been built. If it's a rag, it's wipe the lens. Another referee required.
I'll just give you an update on lawn 6 while this is waiting.
And now you see we're getting there was a penchant for these green hats sometimes. Everybody wants a green hat. Presumably so that they can claim to have been a referee of the tournament. Right,
Alright, so hoop 12,
game on. Game over.
and this is one he will hit hard. No doubt about it.
I shouldn't have done. That's good.
Did I mention something about Robert being lucky earlier in the commentary?
Well, that was, well, I don't know, you see, this, I'll have to get these Egyptians round in a circle and say, now, don't hit it too hard.
So there's going to be some viewers wondering why Rob isn't running hoop 12 here.
Yes.
There are a couple of reasons. First of all, it's not very easy, and blue was still runnable. But primarily, black is about 5 yards away from hoop 13 on side.
Yes.
So that's why he's just chosen to clear and try and keep control of the hoop.
Now that was, yeah, well, that was, of course, I hadn't really taken into account that black was on side. That would have been a bit awkward for once.
Yeah, it's too dangerous. This looks long. That's a big error. That's a big error. If you're going to err on being one side or the other there, you err on being short because you're further away from the red ball. Now Rob's going to be looking at this going, yellow takes position at 12. Red smashes black away, hopefully getting up the lawn towards 13. The problem being that Rob hasn't got as much power as Yasser. So over on lawn 6, Ahmed El Mahdi won the first game against Toby Savage 7-5, and they've just started the second. Can he block yellow at the hoop? Not quite. It's a perfectly good positional shot, but yellow's still open on the hoop. So Rob wants his 3/4 ball on the right, moving black towards corner 2, moving red into the northeast segment of the lawn. And really probably about an inch out there. He's flicked it and only left a 5-yard clearance, black on yellow. But 1 inch further left, both balls would have been perfect.
Yeah. It's a bit problematic after this shot.
I think the thing to note here is blue's hoop 12 is much more difficult than the last hoop 12 it played. So I'm going to put a line of play out here. Don't shoot at blue. Take position. Hope blue fails its hoop. And then red hits black to stay up by 13, getting off the lawn, and then black has to play onside again before yellow runs the hoop. It's a gamble.
Which he's not going to take.
She's not taking.
And he's missed that. So, I'm afraid.
If blue fails this hoop, he might look back and go, those 2 balls up at 13 were a real opportunity for me to get a ball up at 13.
If he was looking for my advice, I'd say just throw it through.
Now that's very good advice now. Here is a clear example where I think he may decide just to smooth it into the jaws. Because there isn't a ball nearby.
So, most of us would feel that this one is runnable.
No, it looks like he's going hard again. Yeah, he's right.
I mean, you know, it's very good. He's won the.
Yeah, I would definitely have been hitting that not too hard.
Well, I think the risk is that you hit too hard, but also the risk you damage the boards by them.
I don't care about that.
Well, you might have to. You might have to be replaced with the piping, which seems to be now very popular.
Okay.
Just
going to do a little bit of camera repair, so
Yes, we've had to stand out in the way of a spinning camera.
take them off on Graham's camera.
We're okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's on still.
The tube has now got used to it, so it's new rough underground.
Okay. They're both players having a little comfort break, so we'll just turn the mic off for a little while. I'll try and get a couple of scores from other lawns.
Oh no, she's sending.
Okay, so we're back again. I've done a bit of research, and from what we can see, Ian Lyons and Jack Good are on hoop 13 in the first, so 6-all. And in the big clash up way in the distance on lawn 11, it looks like it's 6-4 to Robert Fletcher over JP Mobley, but that is from a long way away, so don't trust that 100%.
Yes, that's a game that was recommended to me as being one of the highlights. Fletcher, the Australian, and JP, the England captain. But he's been placed on a lawn which is about as far away as we could be.
And Jack's going to be 1-0 up against Ian Lyons in the All-England clash. So back to our feature game. Yasser winning the first 7-5. And just look at how good this red is, John, in front of hoop 1. Isn't that a fabulous shot?
Yes. Well, it's exactly the same as the previous one on hoop 1, and that's impressive again.
And when I coach players, I tell them, if it's that good, take 2 shots at it.
Well,
Black and blue.
I think that's the instinct that one has.
And the Egyptians are always taught first ball plays in.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, didn't work very well this time, but yeah, I think most people would agree that you've got to have 2 goals at the ball that's that well placed. And now he's got another one.
Yeah, shouldn't affect his stance. Should be fine.
Although I suppose now what we're looking for is the semi-mythical double clearance from the corner.
Yeah, he'll be aiming at red, hoping not to hit it on the right hand side, which would give Rob a clearance.
Good. Yeah. Replay that one.
Bad luck. So that's two pieces of bad luck from Yasser. Remember, he rush peeled Robert through hoop
He
5.
did. And now he's set him right into the position that he would prefer to be. And this will be aimed at hoop 2.
And we have quite general slopes at Southwick. So from memory, I'm aiming about 2 feet right of hoop 2 on this lawn to get red in front, because it just sort of slopes down towards us.
Yeah.
Okay shot from Rob, 2 yard, 10-degree hoop. Yasser needs to be playing inside that to put a bit of pressure on, and he's done that really well. That's a beautiful shot. 18 inches just off straight. And Rob's thinking here. He would normally just try and get yellow even better than red to allow red to clear black to a wide spot. Now obviously that means that yellow wants to be a little bit to the eastern side of the hoop, because that's where the red's rush on black is pointing. He's taken his double instead, gone through the middle of it. So that now sort of commits red to taking the hoop on rather than clearing black. But nothing wrong with it. You know, if you've got a nice double, blacken the hoop. Perfectly reasonable having a punt at that. But yeah, now the clearance on black isn't really on the table. He needs to take the hoop on. Which I think as the tournament goes further forward into the knockout stage, yeah, the players are going to be having to take these 2 yard, slightly off straight hoops on. You can't afford to keep clearing your opponent. The more shots you give a top player, the more they're going to find their groove and hit one of the key shots. So blue misses red.
Good effort from a distance. Shake of the head.
And if red could clear black holding position, it would be a legitimate choice, but it can't. Yeah, lovely shot. Straight through. And that's a nice 2-0 lead, having gone game down. Remember, of course, Robert was 4-2 up in that game.
He was. And, well, it really, they play so well.
There was that big turning point at hoop 9, wasn't there, John? Where Robert had that marginally hampered shot.
Yes,
from
with the blue and the yellow red. Pretty crucial, really. And you called it the importance of hoop 9.
It is.
Vital 7 in tennis.
Yes. So Rob having 2 goes, much more non-Egyptian tactic, but in my opinion completely right. And he's missed with the first one. But another fabulous positional shot. 2 foot in front of hoop 3. Really impressive. I know they're not difficult like Compton, which were probably 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds faster than these, and much rollier. So positional play there was much trickier. But still, on any lawn, just taking 2 foot straight position at odd hoops is just very impressive.
The most difficult shot because it went across the line of the hoop and dropping it to the rope. Our technician is looking anxious. Only because her husband's playing on the adjacent lawn.
And another miss from Rob. So, to date, we haven't seen Yasser try to run one of these odd hoops down to the even hoop. But is he going to try this time? This is really straight and really short.
We should.
He should. Yes. So, fascinating to watch. This is a bit like Ahmed Naz. You would be confident that that would be smashed off the south boundary. But as soon as he's taken a bit of power off, his swing isn't as pure. Nice shot from Rob. Centre ball blue, keeping yellow in the vicinity. And the players on lawn 11 are not to be seen anymore, suggesting that 6-4 lead for Robert Fletcher's been converted into a game win.
Robert pondering again.
Yeah, I think he'll clear blue. Again, this concept of clearing the ball that plays before you will be high in his mind, and it's within his range. That's okay. He's got the north boundary. He's moved blue out of big running position. Okay, we're back on now. Just had a quick update from Alison as the plan for the day. For those of you potentially after this match, we might have Jose Alvarez Sala against Ewan Burridge. Should be fascinating. Vastly important match to both of them. I'm just trying to think, is that a correct block game? Anyway, that's what we were told. So Rob there taking red at black, which is in good hoop running position, and tried to hit it much harder than his normal 7-8 yard clearance. And that's his weakness at the moment. When he ups the power, the accuracy goes down. So good chance here. And having seen his first go at hoop 3, which was basically from the same position, where he went gently, do you think he's going to risk going gently again?
Oh, I should.
Well, I think he should as well, but I think he's going to go, no, I've had enough of this, so I'm going to smash it off the south boundary.
Hard enough to get it to the next hoop.
Yes.
But not so he's going to smash it into the board.
No, I think the boards are in danger.
Yeah, and they do like the hard hit.
Red is offside. Yeah,
It's more like it.
crashing into the boundary. Oh, he's hit hoop 4. So that's twice. He's been unlucky twice, hasn't he? At 5 and 1, and he's been lucky twice at 8 and 4. Because getting that side boundary position is a much stronger position than the south boundary position.
Going to be a tidying up one.
So Rob's going to be in a quandary here. the natural position that I coach the Kiwis here is playing off the east boundary, maybe about 10 yards north of corner 4. And that's pretty much exactly where he's gone, maybe 11 yards. You're saying, well, why has he gone there? Surely you take position on hoop 4, but black's all over yellow. Black's just going to be hammering yellow to the west boundary. And this is the position I coach all my players I'm involved with in this position. Get off the lawn. This is travelling. That's a poor shot, really. There's again quite a big hill from 3 to 4 here, moving a couple of feet, maybe 3 feet. Everything coming towards the camera position. Robert playing deep position here. Again, not wanting to be too close to blue, and erring on the short boundary side. Again, because blue makes it more difficult for blue to clear to the north boundary.
And finally, they attack the hoop.
They do. The standard play here would be to play yellow behind black so blue can't clear it. But that's going to give you quite a long hoop. So I'm not sure exactly what Robert's going to do here.
More importantly, neither is he.
Yeah, he's looking at multiple options. One of the things you can do is just take position fractionally on the far side of the hoop and force blue to clear you. And just say, well, okay, clear me, but I'm going to be on the short boundary still. And you're not going to be able to hold position with blue to run the hoop. So that's pretty much what he's done. It's going to be tough for blue to clear that and stay in position. Blue daren't take position because red can clear black not only towards corner 1, but getting red in front of hoop 5 as well. So I'm really surprised at this. This is an aggressive go at a block. Has he got it?
Yeah.
It looks like he's got it, Roberts.
Yeah. Well, blocking is probably the most difficult thing to do.
Well, some players are good at it. It's one of my strengths. I wasn't a very good clearer, but I did like blocking and taking position.
Yeah, well, it has its place.
So is he double clearing here, or has he got an edge of black? Yeah, he's got the middle of black. So my question is, why didn't he hit that 4 times harder?
Well, he's
Yeah.
staying under the hoop. They go too far away.
4 times harder could have had black near corner 1 and red and possibly in front of hoop 5.
Mm.
Oh, he's managed to get the block. I didn't think that was even online. So he's played the control clearance to try and block black at yellow with red. That's one of you mentioned. Blocking with one ball is the most difficult shot. Blocking on a rush is the most difficult shot.
Yeah.
You know, it's so difficult.
Surprisingly, even when you're not in control of it, it does happen.
Oh, it does happen.
Because somehow something happens naturally in accordance with laws of physics.
No, he was open on it. So yeah, I just fancy taking that clearance 4 times harder. This isn't a strong position for Rob. Question is he going to take? I like taking position here. Well, he's definitely aiming for blue, and he'll be playing this at the same pace he played the last shot, that mid-pace clearance shot. Probably just trying to move blue 5 or 6 yards away, keeping yellow near the hoop. Again, you've got a rule of thumb I mentioned yesterday. If you're clearing into the lawn, mid-pace. If you're clearing towards the boundary, hard. So mid-pace clearance, he's only hit it quarter ball, so he's lost the yellow ball. Yellow ball now 13 yards away from hoop 4. And this will be blue into position. Red will clear blue on the right hand side. And then black will play into position. Well, I'm assuming blue's in running range. If it's so it isn't. Blue's not runnable from where Rob's looking. I actually still think with blue unrunnable, I'm clearing it half ball on the right.
That's anticipating blue going into the corners.
It's just wiring from blue. So what he's saying is blue's so angled, he doesn't actually think it's going to get in the drawers.
No.
It's much further than it looks from our position sat here. But again, that's not very good position either. That's angled. So I think I need to get up and have a wander around, see where this blue is. The problem is when you move here, you're always in someone's line, so I'm just going to sit still.
Off-camera clatters are inevitable, and that was the youngest player of the tournament.
No, actually not.
Oh,
The
no.
second youngest player.
Second guy. Yes, that's
So yeah, Jack just had a
he's 16.
attempted jump to win hoop 2 that failed. But no, Blake's 4 months younger.
Yeah, doesn't look it, but he is.
So yeah, I honestly don't understand that sequence of play around hoop 4. Red's gone to somewhere where blue could clear it to the far boundary. Black played in. It's not an easy hoop, it's not a guaranteed one, because it's a little bit angled, but I don't think Rob wanted to be in this position. Yeah, Black's hoop should be an 80%er, and he's going to have to shoot at it now.
Whoops. Whoops was a shot from just behind us, and I know if you're watching this, you don't want to know what's going on the other lawn because that's very frustrating. Now, but we're waiting for a considered long clearance.
That looked good to me, but just misses on the right. So yeah,
Very-
this
very smooth shot, but
I've just always just been the most beautiful player to watch. When I first met him 36 years ago, you know, he was playing with hands right at the top of the mallet, breaking them so much that, you know, most human beings just wouldn't be able to do that. And as time's gone by, that amount of work on the wrist has caused him injury, and now he's playing with his hands not quite dead at the top and with the angled mallet. Yeah, near wire.
so that's a pretty bad mistake.
And a big chance for Rob to take a 3-1 lead.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, those who are starting out in the game, I think are told that you must try and keep the wrists firm,
I play green now,
because
right?
it does result in, if it results in wrist problem.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, many people do it very effectively.
Yeah, lovely hoop.
That's
So 3-1 to Rob. Blue is onside. And you could say, well, isn't he just going to try and run his hoop? But no, he's actually just going to try and get really straight position, because he's 3-1 down and he's trying to get 5 and 6.
Yeah. That's always a good idea. But he's failed twice by the narrowest margins to run two with one shot.
Red gone a little bit deep there for my liking, but it is straight again. And again, standard tactics here is black clears red. If you remember last game, it almost bounced over the edge and just flicked it close to the hoop.
Yes, that's...
So maybe there's a little bit of bobbly ground there. Yasser is a pretty flat hitter. No. It wasn't bobbling that time though. So can Rob hit this big clearance? And equally important, going to hit it. His normal nice clearance only moves it about 8 yards. That really isn't hard enough.
No, the people... Oh no,
That's his standard miss on the right again.
you must have a word with him. I'm sure you have.
I do as well. Actually, if you're going to have a miss, it's better to miss on one side rather than the other. First of all, because you know where to aim when you've got double targets. And secondly, when you're playing AC, for tactical reasons I'm not going to go into, it's better to miss on the right than the left.
Oh, that's very comforting. I always miss somebody.
Well, he's got a lot of wire that time, so it stopped about 5 yards north of the hoop. Much better than off the north boundary, but not really because he tried to run it with much control. He just took a lot of wire. So probably...
Yeah, he was looking and hoping, wasn't he, see if he could finally run one. We're looking for, I'm sure, the shot of the tournament. I think last time in 2019 there were 2 contenders in a debate, but nobody has yet jumped over the peg. As I'm aware.
No.
That's what happened. And then the other shot, there was a hoop lamp in one corner diagonally.
Right. Yeah, you normally get things like that happen during an event this long with this many players.
That was why I'm rather hoping they might be able to show the people. But it hasn't happened yet.
So Rob's thinking of 2 options here. He's going to go for wired position from blue. That's what he's trying. And his other option was probably to stay 2 yards further south and go into straight hoop running position, quite a long way away from blue.
You want yellow?
So black just plays into position here. Red's not really a hoop running threatening ball too much. It can run the hoop, but it's not one of those that you're too worried about letting your opponent take on if you've got a 1 yard straight hoop yourself. And it's probably only going to be a 25% hoop for red. So if you've got your own 80% hoop afterwards, the odds are in your favour. And that's a tiny bit short. So assuming blue can't hit red, blue will be trying to clear yellow here. If yellow can run.
I can see trouble approaching. All the aficionados of running slang will know that my wife is approaching.
Now looks like he's open on the red ball. So. Oh, really, really good appreciation from next door from his fellow Egyptian players. If we were in Cairo, there would be bravs, bravs shouted. Fantastic clearance. He's cleared it to corner 4.
Good shot, that.
Fabulous. And this ball's going to finish offside if it misses. Oh, in the middle.
Oh, touche.
Excellent.
as they say in
Yes.
sport.
We definitely need to transport this to Lawn 1 at Gazira. Great stuff from both players.
Right. As I said, trouble and strife was approaching. And I'm now going to hand over to Debbie, who has been our important technical consultant.
Great
And I'm
shot.
now
Really good.
moving cautiously north.
They're so difficult, those shots. 5-6 yard clearances to hit them in the middle and sort of stay nearby. Rob will take position trying to block black at the hoop. And then I wouldn't be at all surprised if he doesn't get that, to see blue do something very aggressive, like shoot at the red. Now, where's this
Oh,
yellow
nice,
finished?
isn't it?
You think that's dead straight, Debbie, do you?
Well, I think so. Difficult to tell from here.
So, if it is dead straight, it's still compulsory clearance on red to try and leave black the jump shot, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
But now he's coming in. So
So no drummer.
so it's trying to block red at black. Very close, very
I think
close.
he's got it there.
No, well, we're
No, it's open.
just drove down today. Well, John drove down today, yesterday.
And Rob wants to hit this either in the middle or on the left. Doesn't want to move it to the eastern side, which will allow it to clear the yellow. Yep, that's good.
Yeah.
And now the question here is, does Yasser shoot at this, knowing there's a chance of rush peeling it if he hits it on the left? Or does he just play onside and say, no, I'm 4-2 down, I'm going to focus on winning 7 and 8 and try and tie it up at 4-all again? He's playing onside.
Playing on side.
Very good.
Big hoop from Roger. Times it didn't look like he was the favourite for that one.
Absolutely. Both players have got to be happy with their performance at that hoop.
We haven't won it yet, of course.
No, we'll just make sure. Rob's just checking out Red's angle to 7 in terms of how far he needs to run hoop 6 by. No point in running hoop 6 by 6 inches and finding you've put another ball in the way of Red. Super shot.
So that's about, what, 2.5 feet? It's slightly angled.
Yep, it's great.
Yeah.
Great.
And it's always nice if the blue ball is slightly this side of the hoop, because then there's no chance of anyone holding the position when they clear.
Yep. So Rob's going to play off the north boundary here in front of the hoop, I think.
Looks like that's what he's aiming up. So when did Rob get a trimmer mallet?
Well, he's had various, actually. He told me the other day he's got 4 mallets with the bendy grip, the
bendy grip,
bendy
yeah.
grip, if you know that. And he's trying to work out which one's best for which scenario. And he was talking about the AC Worlds next year, and he's saying actually he's got one that does good stop shots, and one that's a bit heavier that he shoots better with.
Right.
And normally we would play with the one with better stop shots for AC,
AC.
but he's decided, nah, it's hurling him. I just need to hit the ball straight.
It's a good point.
So black plays in trying to block yellow's shot, and it's finished about a ball and a half short. But it's very good in terms of straight position, and it may have blocked red having a go at the hoop. I'm not quite sure.
And that was lovely shot there. Managed to get the blue out.
But a really good chance here for blue to block red at black. Short. And one of those positions where you're sufficiently down that if you clear black, you're still too far down in the hoop. So if you're open on the hoop, you always take this on. Rob 4-2 up. Hasn't put a clip on hoop 6 yet. And that's a piece of luck gone the other way. Yasser's had 2 bad pieces of luck, and now Rob's rush peels 7. So it goes from 4-2 to 4-3, and black gets first play down to 8. But it's not the easiest shot, is it?
He's a bit hampered, so I think he'll be able to get somewhere up there, but possibly not dead in front.
I think it hills left to right. So I think this is particularly difficult. I think it's going to hill at the end.
It's a bit hard as well.
He could have got there.
Yeah.
That's just a yard over hit.
Yeah, a little bit overhit. So I'll go to update the scoreboard again.
So Rob will be trying to take position wide from the black, just northeast of hoop 8. And he's got the wire, I think, or had it just run too far? Oh, I think he might. It's very close, that. Certainly not as good a shot as he'd been hoping for. He could have got
wide as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, he could have got a good hoop running position wide from black there. I think it was worth going for.
Both players went and had a look at that.
Yeah, I think it's a disappointing shot, huh?
Now put his clip on, but I was going to ask Chris, what's the rules on that?
No rules on clips, really. The clips are there for the spectators' benefit. Obviously, hopefully the players are comfortable what the score is all the time. And if you imagine in half an hour's time they'd got to hoop 12 and they weren't sure who'd run hoop 6, they could always go and try and find somebody who had been watching, if both players agreed, and try and get their opinion as to if they remembered who'd won hoop 6. But best to put your clip on when you run it, I think.
Absolutely, I like using the clips personally. But, I find myself going around patting I've always put the clips on the back of my trousers on the back. And you'll see me going around sort of patting my back the whole time, counting how many clips there are left.
And that red is where he wanted to put the yellow.
Yeah.
That would be quite a good red.
Yeah.
Now, choices here.
Yeah, because does he think blue will run?
Blue definitely runs. I don't think he's going to be that worried about letting yellow have a shot. If he's worried about letting yellow have a shot, he could try and play through the hoop or into the jaws.
Won't you want to clear yellow so that blue's got a clear run at the hoop?
Well, we don't know whether it's open first, and secondly, yellow's got quite a difficult hoop.
Okay.
So he's taking that option. Because Robert's got the in-lawn side, Yasser's got a stronger tactical position, because all Robert can do is clear Yasser to a short boundary.
Okay.
So if yellow clears blue here, he's going to try and clear it to corner 1.
Yeah.
But even then, Yasser's got choices. First of all, yellow's not going to be in front. Secondly, red's going to have quite a long hoop.
Yeah.
Thirdly, he's got a choice of smashing red away. That's aggressive.
Yeah.
Or playing the ball in to try and block red at the hoop. having
Okay.
2 balls in front.
Robert's going for his hoop.
No, Robert's taking
sorry,
black out.
missed that.
So this is basically saying he thinks his best chance of winning the hoop is to allow blue to take on this angled hoop, knowing we've seen about 3 failures so far from Yasser on these slightly angled ones. It's a tactical risk,
And it paid off.
and it paid off. Lots of players there, Robert would know, blue would probably have finished in the jaws with a gentle go, and Robert wouldn't have wanted this 3-yard jump shot,
No.
but he wouldn't have played that option against the other players. So it's playing your opponent.
Yeah. And I've not seen any of the Egyptians try and jump through hoops. They jump through hoops when they need to clear another ball, but
Yep.
they don't seem to use the tactic with an angled hoop.
Yeah, that's right. Everything is flat unless you have to get over something. Yeah, and that's his standard miss to the right. Now he's ran a couple of really quite nice hoops, probably 3 or 4 just flicking off one wire. So that's his first sort of poor hoop stroke for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Black going to the opposite side of the hoop to yellow, doesn't want to offer a stop shot clearance. And Rob has a choice here. He can either clear blue or try and play between blue and the hoop. And I think everything we've seen from the past couple of months indicates he wants to take tight position. If he was playing someone who'd just run all these hoops, he'd clear blue.
Yeah.
But in his mind is, I've got an opponent who's been struggling. I want to get tight in, and I'm hoping to get the block.
Ooh, that's short.
That's short. He'll be disappointed. He'll think he's going to get the block 70% of the time there.
And a hoop setter.
The question is yellow even runnable if blue fails the hoop?
I'll go and have a little look since there's nothing stopping me going for a walk right now. It's quite interesting actually, I'd say. It's very angled.
Yeah.
It's the sort of shot I'd try and jump through.
It's a sort of one we'd flip it through, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? With a little flippy
Little
hands
jumpy
down the
thing.
mallet.
Yeah, with a bit of top spin on it.
So Rob's got that shot, obviously.
Yep.
AC 5-time world champion. I have a preference for playing them from the opposite side of the hoop. I think I come across the ball slightly and spin it right to left.
Okay.
So I find if I hit the far wire from the left, it goes through almost all the time. Whereas if I hit the far wire from the right, it's not quite as successful.
Which leg forward do you have?
So for my jump shots, I've got my left foot forward.
Well, I wonder if that's partly to do with it, the way you're jumping.
Yeah, I can't play jump shots with my right foot forward.
No,
Because,
not at all.
nah, your hands coming back too much into your body and things. But remember, they were way down the mallet for the flip. It's not
Yeah.
like a standard jump.
Another reject.
And really nice to see that ball go back 3 yards.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
that-
hoop's quite well set.
It's this indication, like we saw yesterday afternoon in that ladies match between Jenny and Hanan Rashad. Their hoops were pinging. You can hear them when they're slightly firmer, can't you? And I'm not sure these are quite up to that standard. But again, Rob desperate to take position. And yeah, I think Black might have a go at its hoop again here. But clear sort of red flag signs out from Yasser. He's struggling. He's game up though. And he's only 4-3 down. But it's feeling like Rob's starting to get back into the match due to weaknesses in Yasser's hoop stroke.
So, Chris, a while ago we were talking about whether we miss on the left or the right, and you said that in AC there's a tactical advantage to missing on one side or the other. The chat comments are asking if you could explain that, please.
I was hoping to stick to GC. We are playing a GC World after all, but basically when you're shooting at balls just out of the corner or in the corner, if you miss on the left, you often offer promotions or opportunities to rush to get cannons, both of which give a lot more room and get the balls out faster. Whereas when you miss on the right, you imagine from A bolt to corner 4, you go into the corner and you don't leave a rush. And when you shoot from corner and the B bolt to corner 2, you miss on the right, you go into the corner again. So in terms of not giving cannons and promotions away, missing on the right at AC is a little bit better.
There's also, if you're taking a long shot up a boundary, which in AC you do quite a lot, if you miss badly on the left, you may go off near the ball that you were aiming at, which is again not great.
And as I know particularly well, if you miss on the right, you can hit the ball in lawn.
Well, quite. We've all done that.
So there you go, folks. Make sure you miss on the right.
What a pity I always miss on the
Let's
left.
watch this. This is fascinating. We haven't seen one of these yet. Oh, now that was a really good stroke. It reached on the full, was at the right height when it hit the hoop, and was just half a ball out, hit the right hand wire.
Yeah.
So into your memory banks for later in the tournament. Yasser Saeed can play 3-yard jump shots perfectly competently.
That one didn't quite come off, but something to be aware of on another occasion.
Yeah. There's some players in this tournament you want them jumping from 3 and 4 yards with your ball in the drawers.
Well, because they're just not going to.
Yeah.
It's not percentage.
Yeah. They rush you through an even hoop.
Yep.
And you get first play at the odd hoop.
Absolutely.
So it's a hoop and a half value to you if you get a nice sound that hoop made. I think they've been various ground. You can see some brown patches and you can see some green patches, and the hoops are reacting differently depending on what that subsoil's like.
Right.
And hoop 1 clearly is a little bit firmer than I can't remember, was it hoop 3 looked very floppy earlier on in the game.
Yeah, they kept knocking it in, didn't they?
Yeah. So yellow, I don't think yellow can do anything here. Can't rush peel red, can't run the hoop. But red can run the hoop, and it's a matter of what yellow can do to try and protect the red from the black and blue balls near corner 1.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens with black to play.
It's black to play. Red's just failed.
So, what would you do here, Chris? Would you lag in?
I think you have to lag in.
Well, that's kind of short.
He's not wanting to leave yellow a clearance on black, I don't think. But the last thing you want to do is play east of yellow, allowing yellow to get to hoop 9 and just cross its fingers, blue misses red.
I think what I would have done is come in maybe 2 yards back.
In that case, yellow will stop you to corner 2.
Okay.
And if blue misses, you don't really want to be approaching hoop 9 from corner 2.
No, okay.
So he's just giving himself a...
Of course, I forget I'm playing an Egyptian who will just take that long stop shot clearance on.
Yeah.
The typical person I play would be hesitant to do that, probably. A 3 yard clear.
Right.
That just shows the different level of clearing, anyway, that these players have got with their hard hitting Egyptian.
Interesting. Rob's just gone and had a look at the red, and we thought it was easy.
He's
And he's looked at
looking nasty, actually, isn't
this very, very, very short range flip.
it? Might be why black's gone there then. Try and be able to clear red if red ends up.
Yeah, almost playing for a second rotation.
Yeah. So where's that gone? Wide of blue. Wide from blue. Yeah.
So it's one of those positions where some people would play a shot called a brave slice.
What's that, Chris?
So it's where you're swinging at 90 degrees across the ball.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Yeah,
Oh, I
brave
didn't know
slice.
that.
And the idea is that after you've sliced across the red, just finally hitting it with the face of the mallet, your mallet's travelling in a direction away from the wire, so you can't crush the ball.
Yeah.
I find it close to impossible personally.
Well, the good thing about playing it in GC, I suppose, is that the air shot doesn't count, so you can have several goes at
Now
it.
that's a good point, because I do often have an air shot when I play it.
Yeah,
It doesn't
Yeah.
make you look very flash, does it?
it's a bit unprofessional, but the rules do allow it.
It'd be good to run it at your 8th attempt, wouldn't it?
Oh, wouldn't that be
Have
fun?
7 air
Yeah.
shots and you get it on the 8th attempt.
Can you imagine what your opponent would be thinking at that point? Get on with it.
I'm honest.
Yes, of course, you can't do that in AC because an air shot's false in AC.
Yeah, I will guarantee you that Robert will not be playing the Bray Slice. That is not a
Not
shot
one of his
in
shots.
his repertoire.
No.
I don't think we're going to see blue clear, because it just puts it in such a bad position if it misses. Egyptians like keeping their balls in position, and it's one of the things that makes them strong players.
Okay.
You watch some of our youngsters, they've got lots of great talent, but when things start going wrong, they end up having to take position from 25 yards away instead of 7 yards away. I think we'll see a referee come on here. Yeah, here's Richard Brooks. And Rob's going to try this little flippy. It's a jump still, isn't it?
Yeah.
But from really short range. And you want the ball top spinning by the time it hits the far wire.
It's tricky because
And yeah, I don't really
with
particularly
blue
want.
having gone where it's gone, he's got to get this through in the jaws if we're good enough.
I don't like where he's marked. It's too close to red. It might get knocked by the mallet. I'd just rather mark it with two markers up slightly further away.
That's
Oh,
a
it's
nice
easy.
shot.
Easy.
Nice shot.
Yeah. So 5-3 to Rob. And again, we're back to hoop 9. This looks okay, a little bit deeper than I play, but it is dead straight. So, you know, good marks for that. I think Rob will shoot twice. Actually, he might not do here because those
He's lining it up for it.
he is. It's interesting because I just
With all
thought,
those rejections.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Pressure on.
Good shot.
But you're
Naturally, in a game, you would clear that because it's a dead straight hoop. And perhaps Robert's thought process is the ones that have been failed have been angled, haven't they?
Mhm.
Whereas he's been better from directly in front.
Yeah.
So, preferably even closer this time. Had one shot to gauge the distance. This one can be a foot. Yeah, perfect.
a bit nearer.
That's where I'd have been trying to go first time. But fantastic shot there.
It's nice the lawns are so flat where you can actually go for those close positions. In a hillier lawn, you're forced to take a longer, deeper position. It just makes it a bit more challenging on the hoop running.
Yeah, and as I've mentioned to people, the slopes here are general rather than localized. So even when you're playing from 3 to 4 and 1 to 2, you can gauge, oh, it's going to go 1.5 feet left to right.
Yeah.
And it's sort of pretty consistent. And this again, standard play, 2 balls in front. The first ball is going to go and clear. And it's a firm clearance this time. I've mentioned when you're shooting into the lawn, you play mid-pace, but in 2 balls in front position, I often play hard. Rob, on the other hand, will want to play mid-pace. He'll be better at mid-pace. And so I think he'll just be moving blue 6 yards, keeping yellow within 5 yards of the hoop. Oh, that's not a good miss. That was on the left. So,
Gives Yasser a chance to do a controlled hoop run, getting in front of 10 at the same time. But will he take it on? We've not seen him trying that much at all, have we?
no, I still think he's going to hit this firmly.
Straight to the boundary.
No, good shot. Really good shot. Now that's what I want him to do. If he can do that more, he'll become quite strong.
Yeah.
I know it's not in front of 10.
But it's got control of the hoop.
Absolutely. And Rob will play to a side boundary here.
Really? You
Yeah.
don't throw it down for the wide position?
I don't think so. It's too difficult and it's too dangerous. Remember Rob's 5-4 up.
Okay.
He doesn't want to give blue a clearance towards 11. Whether he goes off the lawn, he doesn't have to go off the lawn. He could play 2 yards in and level with the hoop.
This is what he's done.
Yeah, so probably a yard in, just shortening the shot a little bit, and I like that. I think that's strong tactically.
I have to admit, I would not have thought of that before watching players here this week.
Yeah, so
I think when you're playing people that aren't quite as strong as these guys, it's probably still correct to try and take the wide position, but when they're this good, you don't do it.
well, if you're playing at your local club, red just takes 2 yard position.
Yeah.
You know, if blue clears it, it's probably only going to move it 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah.
But when you're playing at this level, you're suddenly in corner 1,
Yeah.
thinking, what on earth have I done wrong here?
Yeah.
And the answer is you've given them a 4 or 5 yard clearance pointing at a long boundary. He's just moving blue out of a hole. Just asking Rob beforehand, is that okay? Rob's a very friendly player, always going to say yes to that. And again, this is the 2 ball in front scenario. So Yasser's played a unbelievably good shot. Yellow's smashing off south boundary, and blue's still in the northern half of the lawn in front of hoop 10. And Rob will play this at mid pace, trying to keep red within a few yards of the hoop.
I needed to hit that centre ball really,
Yeah.
but at least he got black out of the way.
And it shows why it's so important to play them at mid pace. He's hit that less than half ball and he's still within range. Yeah, he'll still fancy coming back and hitting a ball in front of 10 with red, whereas yellow's miles away. It just gives yellow that tempo, that time to get back into the hoop. And just playing up as close to black as he can here. It's travelling.
Yeah, that looks fast.
What's it? Hoop? No.
No.
Yeah, poor shot. So now Yass is in huge control. Blue plays to running position wide from yellow. But you just can't afford to have these balls behind the hoop. Basically, if yellow can't see the blue, well, red can't clear blue and black in the same shot. So blue's going to end up with a hoop shot. If he's got the wire, it looks to me as if it's falling a bit towards us.
Too far towards us, yeah. Got that breaking.
Good shot
Nice,
from Rob.
yeah, nice. Again, red's gone behind, so we could have the same scenario in a minute.
Yeah, so black plays to wide position from red. Yellow has to clear blue. Black ends up with a hoop shot.
Yeah. I've not looked at that though. I think you'd be picking a spot here, wouldn't you?
Well, he might just be looking for the wire on yellow, which is what he's played. He's played to try and wire yellow from blue.
Okay.
Failed to get it. And now Rob's going to be back in this.
Black, block, blue?
No, I don't think it has. One of Rob's options would be to play yellow so blue couldn't clear it. Allow blue to take the hoop on, and then clear black with red. But again, it's straight. I don't think he's going... Oh, he is. He's nudging in. We can't see from our camera angle, from our, well, not camera angle, but position, what he's going for. Is he just clearing yellow? Is he jumping yellow? Yeah, he's clearing yellow.
But probably trying to put yellow wide from...
No, it doesn't
sorry,
matter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Key was to keep blue close to the hoop.
Yeah.
Rob has to clear black here. And again, he'll play a mid-pace clearance. Part of the issue here is you don't want a dead centre clearance because it's going to finish too close to blue. So he almost wants to hit it on the left-hand side, drifting it. Perfect.
Lovely.
So it's still in front, but it's just lengthened blue at red by 3 more yards than hitting it absolutely dead centre.
And it's left in what, a 7-yarder at the hoop?
Yeah, exactly.
Would it come to that?
Should it come to that, you may find he's still down in corner 4,
Yeah.
but at least he's lengthened the clearance that Yasser has to play.
Made Yasser play it properly.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
What does yellow do here, Chris?
Depends if it can see black. If it can see black, I want to mid-pace clearance it. Because we've mentioned blue might be monstering red next. So if I can hit black mid-pace again, and this time I do want to hit it pretty much as middle as I can. So
Going for blue.
he was going for blue, taking his 5-yard hoop on with red. Nothing wrong with that. Nice positive play. Indicates potentially black was wired as well.
Yep.
Because he wouldn't have wanted to hit it as hard as he did then. That was going out of his mid-range clearing. And now the question is this red going to get powered down to corner 4? I'm surprised he's taking this.
And you just keep hitting them
Yeah.
from the ball. So
When you're playing
you may have got the wire there. as
the
well.
sort of Salah Hassan's and his protégés, with yellow having missed the south boundary, his standard play would have been to put blue in front of the hoop as well, blocking red's hoop shot,
Right.
and then red can't clear blue and black, and yellow's on the south boundary, so you're forcing them into a 5-yard jump. We know jumps are a weakness of Rob, so that would have been the Salah Hassan type play. This has just gone with, power and accuracy, and Rob's given up. Rob said, hey, I'm 5-4 ahead.
Yeah.
I want a good clearing ball onside at 11.
Yeah.
Because yellow is rubbish. Yellow is awful.
Is awful ball, yeah. Oh, no. I wonder where that's going.
Going back to the previous shot, you don't put red as close to 11 as you can. You put it in a position that achieves 2 things. It allows red to clear at 11.
Yep.
But it also means that were black to have finished in the draws there, red could have still cleared
had a
it.
shot.
As it is, we can't see from here where it is. I don't think it's in the draws. It
it's
might be on the rough far wire.
Yeah.
And so this will be yellow playing in, hopefully a yard back from black, so black can't hit it.
And so if black tickles into the jaws, he's got an easy jump.
Yeah.
It needs to be a good shot here from Rob.
The key thing from Yasser's thing is not only hasn't he run the hoop, but by the time he runs the hoop and makes it 5-all, Rob's balls are going to be in such a better position.
Yeah.
It's a bit... Oh, might be perfect. Might be
I think that's
really good.
Pretty good, yeah. Even you'd be happy with that one, Chris,
Yeah,
would you?
yeah,
He's
yeah.
smiling.
That's really good.
Or you could go on.
It's nice to be able to appreciate the good play we're seeing from these players. Such different styles. We've got one who can clear hard, but isn't quite so good on the touch. And then Robert with the perfection in the touch play, but not quite so good at clearing. It's a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say Yasser's touch has been world class as well. The weakness would be the hoop running, and Robert's weakness is obviously the power. Fascinating to see that choice of shot. Does it mean that black runs? Blue's now onside, so blue's really good if yellow runs the hoop, but unfortunately it'd be 6-4 down. So does he think he can nudge up to the yellow? I don't think red's got much of black through the hoop. I'm not sure it wants to move black. I think it just wants to...
Position, I think, don't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
But this is Rob's shooting style.
Black can run.
No, maybe not.
Does he need to nudge yellow another 2 or 3 inches on maybe to take that shot from black out of play? It seems a bit dodgy.
Yeah, I think he's looking at protecting against black jawsing, but surely yellow's jumping in that case.
Yeah, you'd have thought, wouldn't you?
Yeah. 'Cause I'm just going to pull another shot out as an option, which is red clears blue to corner 1.
Oh, that would be nice, because blue's on side.
Yeah, and red gets towards 11 then, and he's 5-4 up.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Red has gone for... Oh, it did want to move that yellow forward a bit. That's interesting. So he's made the jump easier, and black shot now
Yeah.
can't move yellow.
Yeah, again, maybe the jump was something he just didn't fancy, too angled. In which case, he certainly played a good shot, whatever. That is a good shot.
That was a good shot.
We'll need a referee for this one.
Yeah.
So, key things are, you've got to make sure black can get to 11. And you've got to try and put some level of difficulty on yellow's shot. Whether it's putting it a bit in front of the hoop, so if Robert doesn't get yellow off the ground, he might flick black and brush peel it.
Or otherwise up close to yellow to stop the jump.
I think the up close to yellow is really difficult.
Yeah, that's the angle for that. Move that an inch, I think.
So Rob will be flipping this over the top of black. And now he's playing a normal jump shot, so he's obviously comfortable getting the height. If he was a bit closer, maybe a ball closer, he'd probably go down to his flippy shot to get the height faster. But it looks like he thinks he can just comfortably get over this. I'm not sure his left foot... Oh, he's okay. I wanted him at least that far forward. Good shot.
Yeah.
So 6-4.
The lawns here are jumping quite easily. So we've been watching players jump and they're getting off in the air quite easily. So again, there's probably some difference on the greener patches versus the yellower patches.
I think Rob will take position here because of where black is. I think he might be able to take position, so black at red is sort of psychologically hampered.
That's what he's aiming up.
Very good. I think that might...
I think it's blocking blue.
It's close. It's might be a little bit far our way. I'm not sure. So black trying to block yellow at blue.
Short.
That is short. And are we going to see the mid-pace one, which is more accurate, or what you'd normally do here, which is full power?
This red's so nicely in position, you want to clear blue well away from it. And if he doesn't, he's in a poor position with black having him.
Yeah, that's good. And he's got it off the boundary half ball. Rob will be thrilled to bits with that. No. So that's going to be game all. I think we'll give Robert this one, won't we?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So 7-4 to Rob in the second, having lost the first one 7-5.
Very interesting match this.
Enjoying it a lot. Good standard of play. Nice variety in tactics. It's not one-dimensional. Positional play coming to the fore. Yeah, just my sort of match. Really getting into it. I suppose the one thing we probably ought to say is Yasser was weak at stages there.
He didn't run the hoops he should have run there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice positional play to generate the opportunity, but then failing 3 or 4 comparatively straightforward hoops. You're going to introduce. So we're going to have a new set of commentators for your final game here. So I'll pass you over to Alison, and hope you enjoy the decider.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Hi everybody, and so I'm going to give some of the commentators a break. We're having an all-American team now. So we've got Justin, who is Blake's dad, on camera. Thank you very much. And we've got the lovely Matthew Essick to come and do some commentary for you, and hopefully I'll have someone to join him shortly.
Hello everybody. It's a pleasure to be with you. Looks like we've just started the third game.
I was framing to the edge of the screen. I was actually framing you. But I told the guy. That's reasonable. So before going trouble would even the framing was picking up the edge of the so you couldn't do anything on the framing.
All right. Looks like we have a beautiful hoop shot by Rob. That's a 1-0 lead to start of game 3. Looks like Yasser is also slightly hampered to hoop 2. He's taking wide position. Not necessarily worried about being able to score there, just avoiding being cleared. Rob's going to take a look just to see what kind of angle Black has at the hoop. Good along with yellow on his positional shot, but it shouldn't be of too big a concern with Black not being able to run the hoop. Great shot. Loose play to about a yard right in front. Red's going to go ahead and take a mid-pace clearing. He was aiming for right center. Looks like he got about an eighth of the ball on the right. Left blue in scoring position. So we're either going to see Yasser play a block on yellow while taking position, or trying to move yellow to the backside of the hoop where it is wired on blue. He just played the block. Slightly long. I think yellow still has a line on blue. And Rob has opted for position. So because black is closer, he's tried to play a block on red, so the red cannot see black. Hard to tell from this angle what he has. Great shot. So Yasser didn't quite get the block on red. Rob plays a great clearing, and Yasser now has the return. Great shot. He's cleared yellow, but not only cleared it, but he's got the right half. Yellow about 10 yards to the south side of the lawn. And left Robert with a 12-yarder. And Robert misses on the right. We're going to see Yasser try to run the hoop. Great shot. 1-all. Rob will play the red over to hoop 3. And as Chris was mentioning during his commentary in the first two games, these odd-numbered hoops play a big part in the how the momentum of the match swings. If you can run the odd-numbered hoops to reasonably good position at the following hoop, you have a chance to steal 2 in a row. Looks like his position's a little bit short. Yasser's going to play deep and behind, where he can only be cleared to the back line. Looks like Robert has gone for the cheeky play of trying to actually promote red into better position. He has missed and now has 2 balls out of position, leaving Yasser in complete control of this suit so far. I assume he's going to play a clearing on black, trying to get half ball on the left. The other option is to clear blue and try to stay in black's line of the hoop. And lastly, trying to get into the jaws. He's decided to go with the second option, clearing blue and ideally being in black's line of the hoop. Fairly good shot. It's hard to tell from this position what black can actually see. But he's called Richard on to pound the hoop in, so I assume he's taking a run at the hoop. And this is a very comfortable hoop shot, knowing that regardless of result, blue cannot be cleared far enough away where it cannot hit red. And he will be shooting this fairly hard to try to get down to hoop 4. And it's a miss, but of all the options of a miss, I think he'll take that one. I'm dead in front, about 12 inches away. Robert's played a much harder pace clearing than just traditional mid-pace clearing. It's called quarter ball on the right, just to keep himself on that back boundary. Yasser wanted a dead center ball clearing to kind of stun shot to keep himself reasonably close to the hoop. Looks like he's missed a little bit on the left. Nice shot. Maybe a little bit angled on the right side, but Yasser's deciding what to do with this. Looks like he's going to go for the clear. Now, ideally, he'd like to hit the left side of this ball and take the position on the back boundary. He's got the right side. Has taken red out, but not in the position he would like to be. All right, we are back, and I've been joined by Ewan Burridge.
Good morning, Matthew. In here for game 3.
That's right.
1-1 at the moment. What have you seen so far?
So, a lot of poor positional play actually so far.
Really?
Both players have not been placing very good position balls, and therefore leading to a lot of contested hoops.
Okay, that surprises me a bit. It's normally one of Robert's strong points. Well, it really is his strong point, but perhaps if we can tidy that up.
Great shot.
I've just been up on lawn 11 where Robert Fletcher's playing JP from England, and they're at 5-5 in the second game, so that's an interesting one. Quite a few good games to watch this morning, I think.
I think a lot of the 1 and the 2
Yeah.
seeds in the blocks are.
Yeah, 1 and 2s and 3 and 4s are playing each other, so it's
That's right.
quite yeah, a few good contests around. So that blue was, well, looked perfect, but I'm not convinced. I think yellow can probably go in off that.
Yes.
It's certainly
quite
got
tough
an
from this
easy
angle.
clear.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
regardless, we know that yellow's going to be able to have a pretty comfortable clearing on blue regardless.
And black's up by us in the commentary box is a long way away, so I don't think blue's ideal really.
Not at all. Great shot by Robert.
Yeah. What was the score in the second game?
7-5.
7.
Excuse me,
7-4
7-4 for Robert.
Okay.
So Yasser's played A.
That's an attempt to block yellow's clearance on blue. Come up short. I expect this will be main objectives to clear blue, but if you can get through the hoop at the same time, perfect.
That's right.
Didn't quite get in front of the hoop, but yellow has come really close to hoop 5, so if blue were to fail to clear red.
That's right, and it's hard to
Yellow's
tell
in.
from this line what blue can actually see. I believe he's open on red, but
Probably open.
yellow might be in that path.
Yeah. Yeah, if this were to miss, Robert's looking in quite a strong position for both hoop 4 and 5, really, with yellow there. Anyway, Yasser's got a shot first.
That's right. And miss here, and we could easily see 4-1 pile on fairly quickly.
Yeah. Maybe a slight little bit of wind interference there, causing him to step back and realign. He's going to pull the trigger.
Great
It's a
shot.
good hit, that. Remains to be seen what red's got. It might even have a double on hoop and black, which would be a shame for Yasser, but
That's right.
if this hits black, we're pretty much back to square one, aren't
That's
we,
right.
with this hoop as a reset.
We'll see a traditional mid-pace clearing from Rob here.
Oh,
Looks
it's gone
like he's
straight
on
through
the
the hoop. That works
you
as
had
well.
That's right. That works as well. As Ewan said, I believe he had a pretty large target there. Not only has he run the hoop, but yellow is still on sides
Yeah.
after clearing blue.
Oh, and that. Oh, I'm not sure that black's great at all. It'll be interesting to see whether Rob's tempted to have a go at this hoop here. I think he will be.
Yes.
I don't think you can turn it down.
No.
It's not too
Nothing to
easy.
lose.
It's almost a free go, yeah. Jaws is great.
Jaws is amazing.
Mm.
See what pace he plays this with.
Mm. Just hits the outside of the left wire. It's stuck around, so it's not the end of the world, but not his best effort.
Yazer's trying to block the red on black.
He hasn't managed to do so. Expect this will just be red at black relatively gently.
Yes.
Doesn't need to be much power at all. Yep. Job done. Red's got a bit far away, but
So we'll see black take position. I assume red's going to have to clear black again.
he's going to have to do something quite handy here to win this hoop from here. But
That's right.
you're going to have to look at a double clearance or a really nice stop shot clearance at some point. If he can clear this and stay in front, then he's got a chance, but
has cleared it. Hasn't quite stayed in front. I'm sure we'll see blue return. Luckily, yellow is still reasonably close. So if red can hit this black ball, it's...
We could be looking at a situation where he has another go at the hoop with yellow, because I can't see a way he's going to get a much better go, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Commentator's curse. He might be getting a better go now that blues failed to take position. This just needs to hit, and then it's
Back to square one.
open hoop. Then. Missed by nothing. So I noticed that he failed a hoop much shorter than this in game 1, a hoop 12, but we'll see whether he's got rid of those issues.
Question is, how hard is he going to play this hoop, Ewan?
I want to see him play it at the right pace, but that wasn't the right pace and it didn't go through anyway. I really like seeing that. Have some confidence and run it so that if it goes through, it stays in front of 6.
That's right. Especially being down 3-1.
And especially if you can still fail it when you hit it hard as well.
That's right.
If you're guaranteed to run it when you hit it hard, fair enough. But if you've still got a chance of failing at hitting it hard, there's no point for me. Clearing black. Not something I would be doing, but it's okay, isn't it?
What do you fancy there, Ewan?
Well, having just seen the previous hoop shot, I'd probably come slightly deeper and straight in front of the hoop so that I'm going to get a hoop shot at some point, or I can make my mind up. Because I don't think black needed clearing there. It wasn't in a great position to run the hoop. But what would you have done?
I think I agree. I think the two options were clearing black or deep position. Anything to get red back in play.
Yeah, when you're 3-1 up though, you're 3-1 up and your opponent just failed a 2.5 yard straight hoop. I don't mind testing them with a few more.
Absolutely.
Let them fail a few more, and then the game could turn pretty easy in a short space of time.
Hey, good morning.
We appear to be having a
Slight intermission.
yeah. Gives us a chance to look around the lawns.
That's right.
Somewhere else for
A
now.
lot of new games.
No, I think it's yeah. The round 2s are just starting, so there's no real scores to speak of at the moment. It's 1-1. Yeah.
Hard to tell what's going on. JP versus.
Yeah, they're still playing
Such a
hoop 11. They've been playing hoop 11 for at least 25 minutes now, I think, to be honest. And when I left the lawn, it was fairly balanced hoop, but Robert had slight control. And now, from what I can see, it looks like black's in the jaws with, yeah, it looks quite a strong position for JP now. And that's from 5-3 down, I think. So this would be quite a turnaround if we were able to get this to a 6-5 advantage. He's hit the red, so now Fletcher has quite a long clearance, and JP's running to put that on the lawn as though it might be wired as well.
Yes.
It's always a telltale sign when someone runs to put it on, looking at the line, that
You look very keen to
there
get
could
the
be a
mark
block
out in.
here. Yeah. Looks like the players are just returning to the lawn. Certainly Robert has. I didn't see whether both of them went or whether it was just one.
Still waiting on Yasser to return.
JP's taken a 6-5 lead, and that looks really, really, really good for 12. It could even be in the jaws of 12. It's plumb in front of 12.
Can't see the yellow bar, I believe, but
No.
we do see the red is just a clearing and it's on that west boundary.
Here comes Yasser, so we'll be able to get back to our game.
So,
Blue to play.
Yes, blue to play. And Julia Green, to answer your question, Reg has not been featured in any of these live streams so far, but
I think Yasser just attempted to get in the jaws and missed the hoop entirely, which not ideal, but
not at all.
it's not catastrophic, but it's certainly not very helpful.
If we weren't back to a level hoop up to that point, we sure are now.
I think we might even have a slight Fulford advantage. Yeah. So I think we'll see him take 3 or 4 yard position here, maybe. Looks like that's exactly what's happening.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, that's between 3 and 4 yards, just piling the pressure back on. I think so. Black's going to play in, and then yellow's got either clearance on blue or blocking, or a shot to block blue at red.
Nasser might have done that for him.
It's not. Oof. I think he has. Yeah, I think he has. So not only has he failed to get in front of the hoop very well, I do think that might be a block.
2 really poor shots from Yasser in a row, and really had
Positional play there.
pretty good control of this hoop.
Yeah.
So it's just
JP's taken the second game, 1-1 up there. If this really has blocked, it's gone from being Yasser's hooping to being Rob's hoop in the space of 30 seconds.
yes, and it looks like he is clearing yellow.
Yeah,
So
he's clearing yellow. This is a free go with red because black's not easy. So 3.5 yards for 4-1 lead in the third game. Feels like a fairly important hoop at this stage. If you can get this one through, you're really in a good spot. What do you think?
oh,
Easy.
great shot,
And it's hit
Great
the peg
shot.
to stay around at 6.
just like you meant to, right, Ewan?
Yeah. The peg looked a bit loose there. I actually was watching a game earlier and somebody hit the peg and it actually fell out, which was, it didn't snap, it just came out of the hole and fell on its side on the floor. That is
Interesting.
I have to say that's 3 positional shots in a row from Yasser that have been very below par. I don't think we'll see that from Rob. This really is one of his strong points. Yeah, that's probably exactly where you want it. Just enough to tempt black into not moving it, but it's in a good position. And he might have blocked again. I think he might have just blocked black's clearance on yellow for the second hoop in a row. Yeah, he has done. I've just seen the
Reaction.
body language. Yeah, blocked 2 hoops in a row. That's
And we'll probably see the same
crazy.
same next 2 shots play out here, where
This
red's going to take position on the right side of the hoop, leaving yellow a shot.
I don't know what he's looking at. I think this is just a free go at the hoop for me. I think it's 2 goes at the hoop from here. Remains to be
Nothing to
seen.
lose. That's absolutely the case.
I think he's going to go for the hoop.
Looks that way.
Well, he's debating, isn't it? It's position. That was the position that's slightly straighter than he opted for at hoop 5, but black's going to be forced into clearing red here.
Yep. This looks oddly familiar.
We'll see if Robert's hoop shot is quite as
Slightly
successful.
longer.
It is
Around
a
5 yards.
a yard and a half longer this time, but if he hits it the same he hit the last one, it won't have any issues getting through the hoop.
This could really put a stranglehold on this game and on this match.
5-1's huge, if you can get there. Ooh, catches a fair chunk of the hoop, but doesn't get through. Now, blue's going to be tempted with position here. No, it's going for the hoop. I like it if you're going to run it, but if you don't run it, then it's not good.
Yeah.
If you run this, red's got a really tough positional shot to 7. Yep,
Nice shot.
straight through.
It's really fast.
Yeah, it's in front. Certainly deeper than I would have expected, but it's a safe ball. I think perhaps the hoop might have been slightly in the way for trying to go any closer than that. How's this doing? That's really tight.
Really tight. I
Mhm.
believe he has a block on there as well.
And I don't think yellow can hit it either, so yellow's hampered by the hoop from being able to clear black. So this is just going to be position 3 yards maybe, 2-3 yards.
It's the one positive of Rob playing that deep ball with red is
Yeah,
it's clearing on black. It's gonna
Yeah.
be fairly short.
this is a really tight position shot. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we're going to have a ball coming our way here. Oh, he's going for yellow. Fair enough. Yeah,
That proves that red has is
Yeah.
black has a block on it.
there's an opportunity for an off here as well. Oh, peel.
Wow.
That's quite bad.
Quite unfortunate, really.
Yeah, but I have to say, as much as it's unfortunate, he hit the ball on the complete wrong side.
Oh, absolutely agree.
Yeah,
Tough luck, but not a good shot.
no. 5-2.
Not only 5-2, but Robert with the first shot down to 8.
Mm-hmm. Now this looks brown and fast.
It's made a great shot.
That looks really quite quick, that patch there. So, yes. Good shot to get it in a nice position.
That's one thing we haven't talked about very much. There's a lot of these courts that Ewan's pointing something out that is the case with almost all 11 of the courts where you have patches that are a little bit more brown than the rest of the court. And those patches seem to be quite a bit faster.
It's really nice as well. It really increases enjoyment level for me of playing when there's positional shots on the lawn that can be really quite challenging. It's not easy to take position from hoop 1 to 2. That's fun.
That's right. You want the parity.
Yeah. I think the lawns are really up to the good standard for this event.
Absolutely.
So there he's just gone outside of black. So I think that might have been partly down to the fact that he was hampered, but
I think that had a large
Yeah.
part in that position.
I also like it because if red were to not run the hoop in a shot's time, then black can only clear to the near boundary. But So Robert's got a shot here for 6-2, and it's completely uncontested. This is just
No pressure whatsoever.
a hoop for 6-2. This is probably one you'd choose.
Yes,
If
that's
somebody
exactly
told you
right.
you can have one for 6-2. And black's tricky to get to 9 as well,
Yes.
with the hoop in the way. Black could be very tricky to get to 9, actually.
Big
Good shot. Yeah. 6-2, and we'll see how black's line to hoop 9 is. It looks tough.
Sure, we'll see fairly deep position here, maybe close to the boundary.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going 5.5 yards, maybe. Or maybe it's just off. Yeah. The best he could do was get it off the boundary.
So we're now at 6-2, and I think we can point to hoop 5 as one of the main turning points here, where there's hoop 5 and 6, where Yasser had 4 straight positional shots that really put him in a tough position to come back from.
And to be honest, he got away with it at hoop 6. He still won hoop 6 despite, a couple of really poor shots, but the game could be over if hoop 6 went slightly differently.
That's right.
But again, the quality of the lawns really put a premium on taking position, which for the most part in this game so far, the Englishman's been superior at.
One thing I definitely want to point out is that when you and first approached and started helping with the commentary, my first comment was that both players have been struggling with positional play. And Yasser has still been struggling, but Robert has really been on top of his positions and taking advantage of the poor positional play by Yasser.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened for the first few hoops, but this is the normal style of play from Robert. Really tight positions, and not necessarily 1 foot straight in front of every hoop. It's where he wants it to be. It could be 5 yards back, but it's always straight in front, and it's always really, really, really controlled. Oh, so he cleared blue, and it went into yellow, which almost went into the jaws. That would have been an unfortunate way for Yasser to lose the match.
Absolutely.
So now he's got a 7 yard straight-ish hoop.
Looks like he's not having a go at this.
Yeah, blue's all over yellow.
It is, but
I have to say that yellow's in a hoop hole here, so let's hope it doesn't have a... It's in an old hole. Let's hope it doesn't have an impact on the position. No, that's fine. So.
I think I had a go at that. Ewan, down 6-2.
Yeah, perhaps. As long as you hit the hoop, it's okay.
Yep.
But you do need to hit the hoop. If you miss the hoop,
It's
big
rubbish.
trouble. Big trouble, yeah. That was interesting. That just clipped yellow and then followed through into the far wire and pinged straight back to...
Red see black.
I think that must be what he's shooting at. It looks like blue's in the way, but perhaps not quite. And if he can catch this half ball on the left and get it up to the far boundary...
Looks like he's got
No.
half on the right.
Yeah, he got half ball on the right, so... Again, this is another one of those places where I'm not sure yet, but it looks like black could be really close to having a double on yellow in the hoop. This needs to be hit. If he's aiming at yellow, he has to hit this.
Yes.
Okay, he flicked blue, which was not ideal, but it's fine.
Still in control of the suit.
Yeah, somewhat in control.
If we're going to give control to anybody, I think it would stay.
Yeah. It's I'm tempted to take position off the boundary here.
I think that's the play that I'd go with as well.
I don't think Robert's going to do that, but I'd be tempted with the boundary.
Well, he has played to the opposite side of the paper's blue.
Yeah, it's 2.5 yards, slight angle at the moment. He's having a shot.
Should see a
Another shot that needs to be hit. There's no...
much better pace to that one. Unfortunately, he's good.
I don't think he even touched it. I
Not at
think
all.
Robert might try and nudge this a yard. Position's absolutely fine, but nudging would be brilliant. It's a bit deep.
It's not runnable either.
It didn't look like he got anywhere near yellow, but the distance that red's gone past the hoop, it almost looks like he played at the pace to nudge it a bit. but
Absolutely.
It went nowhere near, so
Very,
I don't know.
Interesting result.
This game could be over fairly quickly.
Looks like Fletcher and JP have started game 3.
Yeah. Still a few first round games going on here and there. But the majority of lawns have started the second round now.
And
Here we have it then. We've got a shot for the match. And I have to say, quite a convincing victory if he were to run this. In the end. I don't think we'll see this hit particularly hard. This will be staying nearby if it doesn't go through. A little bit firm. Right hand wire.
now I'm sure Robert's very happy about that red placement when he looks back on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it really would have been nice if red was a yard straight. I think red's going to go for the jaws here. If you can get this in the jaws, you're virtually guaranteed to force the Yasser to have 2 goes from jumping from the boundary, and I think anyone would take that at this stage of the game.
And maybe just one, Ewan. I don't know that Blue's in a very good position to...
Yeah, I would have probably expected. Yeah, you're right, Blue's angled, yeah. Robert's forced to clear this here, I think. He's going to have to clear black straight away.
That's right, no choice.
Otherwise, Blue's sending him to the other side of the lawn.
So we'll see.
This is going to be fairly gentle.
Yes,
Try
very
and stay
gentle
around.
center ball.
Yeah. The key is sensible here. You can catch it slightly on the left, that's not a problem, but you don't want to be going miles away. Yeah,
That's a good shot.
that's just left of centre, but absolutely fine. And now Yasser's, well, again, I think he would have liked, he's in a situation where he wanted Blue a bit better now. Oh, I don't like that at all.
Me neither.
I'm surprised he's doing that.
So
I'm really
he's
surprised by that.
really planning on the clearing on Blue,
Yeah.
and he's placed red in a place where Blue will not be able to see red once it's cleared.
Can red get
Forcing
through the
Yasser.
hoop? It
That's
looks
the question.
really quite angled.
It's hard to tell from our
I
angle.
don't think it was the greatest shot ever. I probably would have been just stop shotting Blue into the corner, and I mean, I know it's a short clearance, but you have a lot of control there. Anyway, he'll be trying to catch Blue on the right hand side, sending it down towards the halfway line and hoop 10, and then we'll see if red can run the hoop. Not got enough of Blue there. I think that's going to be open.
Absolutely. This one will be quite
Needs to hit.
nice.
It does hit. The only positive from the last few shots for Robert is that yellow's gone slightly closer to hoop 10, which was handy. Absolutely not what he was after, but it helps. A miss from Rob.
Especially 6-2 down. Not only is Yasser looking to run this hoop, but he has to get
Yeah, this needs to be
progression
hit at
towards
the right
10.
pace. It has to be at the right pace. Yeah, and that's another one that even if it did go through, it wasn't at the right pace.
No.
It was going off the far boundary, and to me, at 6-2 down, running a hoop for 6-3, that needs to be a good spot for 10.
Have to put some pressure on. At that pace, wasn't going to achieve that.
No. And well, it's not gone through the hoop, that's the second time we've seen him hit a fairly firm hoop shot when he didn't need to, and it's not gone through.
As you mentioned previously, if you're going to make the hoop at that pace, it's one thing, but you still have a chance to fail. Play it at the right pace.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself a chance to take advantage of 10 as well.
Yeah. I think we'll see red at blue here. Soft.
This is where Robert thrives.
Yep. Good enough. He would have been hoping to get it more in the middle, so red's stayed nearer, but
Not bad.
yeah,
At all.
unless Yasser hits this on the nose in the middle, he's going to have control.
Yep.
Left hand side's okay.
Mm-hmm. That'll work.
So black's come off near the halfway line. So what it's going to be is sort of 10, 11 yard clearance if Robert were to take 1 yard position here.
It's long.
This is long again, yeah. I'd be really disappointed with that.
I don't even see it.
A deep ball in from Yasser.
Two in a row.
I
That was a little bit better.
previously I thought that he was going to try and get yellow in the jaws, but now I don't know if yellow can get in the jaws.
No.
It looks like red's in the way. This is a mess for Robert now, the soup.
Check he's taking a look at blue. He likes black.
He's going to leave.
That's what I
He's
favour.
going to, yeah,
Leaving blue a shot.
leave that blue shot, yeah.
He's already seen Yasser take two of shorter distance, and
I would have. Yeah. He's going to have a go. And this is. I don't think red runs, so it's not got much pressure on this one, so I think we'll see him run this with no pressure.
but as you mentioned last time, though, is we're going to take one positive away. Fulford has
That's really, really up. That's so unlucky. It stopped just there, next to red. Red can now stop shot, stay in front, and yeah, complete control for Fulford. I expect blue will go 12, 15 yards, and red should just stop in front.
priority is on red here.
Yeah. Oh, He's disappointed with
Was that a
that.
limit?
Yeah. I think red just slightly jumped up after hitting blue.
Hit about a quarter of the way up on the ball,
Mhm.
it seemed from here. And I don't know if you've noticed that on these courts, but that's something I've noticed from a lot of the players this week is that a lot of the clearings are not hitting center ball as far as the height.
Yeah, that's actually. I don't know whether in the US you don't play with Dawson balls. Do you play with Dawson balls?
We do.
The new versions. Okay, because these balls are slightly different material to the previous model, and they don't quite get as crisp a connection
Okay.
between ball on ball, and the same as in AC with croquet shots. It's not quite the distances the balls go aren't quite similar to what they used to be. So it's just a slight weakness of the new balls. They don't quite connect properly with each other. They get slightly better in the heat. I found that when it starts, heat in England, if it gets to 35 degrees here, then you start to see them connecting a little bit better with each other. But when it's cold like this, they can really struggle to, and you just see balls that hit fairly in the middle. The back ball lifts up a foot, a yard in the air, and
not only does it not deliver full contact to the other ball, but the striker ball also rolls out a lot farther than it would.
So
traditionally,
a number of players have just struggled getting used to the fact that the ball they're clearing doesn't quite go as far as it used to.
Yeah, my first experience with these new balls was in 2020 in Melbourne for the AC Worlds, and that was a lot of the talk surrounding the week was the Humpties, as they call them, and they just don't quite react the same on croquet shots. And
anyway, we have Robert, I think, probably running the hoop.
Looks that way.
Attempting to run the hoop. Middle of the far wire.
Yes, just taking 1 yard out straight in front position. So we'll see. Red took a clearing on blue. Looking for half ball on the right to take position on the back boundary.
Yeah.
That's a good shot. Hasn't gotten quite to the boundary.
That's no good. I mean,
Could be a problem.
It's just going to get. Yeah, now yellow has to sort of.
It all depends on black's position.
Yeah.
If black gets wired on yellow, then
Exactly that. I think yellow probably has got wide from black.
are you a fan, Ewan, of? I'm a big fan of the play of actually sending red off the back boundary.
Yeah, there. I think that would have been his intention as well. I think he just didn't quite strike it.
No, not on this. No, I'm talking about on this shot with yellow. Yellow actually hits red off the back boundary.
Yeah.
It's not ideal.
I think that's what he's doing.
I'm a big fan of the play.
No, he's just going to take position. Yeah, it's not what you want to be doing, but
No, sometimes you're forced in a situation.
Under normal circumstances, I would say yes, but I think I still want to test the Asus hoop running with black.
Yeah.
It's still looking like it could be a weakness. So
Great shot.
that's a great shot. Looks as though he's going to get his chance with that hoop. Are you shooting at this or?
Absolutely. Especially with yellow already in reasonably tidy position. On the far side.
Let's see. Was it just me, or did that didn't sound like the purest of contacts off
No,
the
it did
mallet?
not.
It sounded.
But based on the actual result, it looked like a Pretty solid swing. Missed by almost nothing.
It wasn't terrible, but it certainly didn't sound quite.
Did not sound right.
crisp. No. We'll see. We'll see if Yasser can run this hoop. It's one of those again, isn't it? It's one of those.
It is, and we it's a common theme in this match so far. It's the pace that he's going to play. This is the question. As we talked about, making the hoop is one thing, but the correct pace could really put pressure on Tim.
Yeah.
And down 6-2, you need them all.
I think this is slightly angled, and I just want to see him run it at his best running pace. I don't know what that is. I presume it's what he tried the last two with. I think this one he's just trying to run it here. Yellow's in too strong a position to be worrying about pace. Just hit it at your best pace.
And he
has done.
Great shot.
So it's off the far boundary, but it's through the hoop, and it's 6-3. Game's still alive. Yeah, I think I'm only concerned about the pace you run it at when it's a free hoop. When there's another ball waiting there like that, you just got to run the hoop.
Yep.
So we get to the last 4 hoops. Anything can happen from hoop 10 onwards.
Especially after watching how that hoop played out.
Yeah. I think, this is going to be 2 or 3 yard position, hopefully wide from black for Robert's sake. It's coming in. It's a little bit deeper than 2 or 3. Ooh. It's perfect. It's exactly 2 yards, and I think it's almost wide. Even if it's not wide, that's like a 12 yard clearance. It's not easy. Where are you going here?
It depends on if it's wired. I fancy tight position. The problem is if you overrun position, that's a great shot.
Yeah. Agreed. That is, if you can do that, do that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
This is coming in slightly shorter than the other 2 balls. So
black.
I presume Yasser can see the hoop. See yellow, sorry, with black. Otherwise, I think we would have seen blue do something slightly more aggressive. No, black's playing in. Black's playing in. It's interesting. I think
if black couldn't see yellow,
I would have been tempted to either shoot at the hoop or yellow with blue. I don't mind which one, but one of them. Yeah, I mean, I think he will take on this hoop eventually once he's done the maths. Is this number 3? His third go to win the match, I think.
It's number 3. Not quite.
No.
So it has stayed really close in front, but I'm sure we'll see a
I think
pretty standard jump shot from Yasser here.
Yeah, that's going to need a tapping in. That was very loose.
And I overheard Chris talking about this earlier. It's a very good point to the referees that these hoops actually, when you pound them in and you hit it on the side of the top of the hoop, it actually loosens the hoop.
Yeah.
It really needs to be struck in the middle, to drive it into the ground rather than to shake it in the holes.
The one that just off center and loosens it up. Ooh, exciting. We'll see if this one gets hit in the middle or not. Here we go. I think it's going to be good. One slight issue, but that's fine. That's okay.
Great job by Ian.
Yeah, very well done. Jumping then. Oh, is it on the floor? It might just be on the floor, actually.
Maybe one look straight there. It looks that way, actually.
We'll
see when he approaches.
It's a slight jump. Yeah. Oh dear. That was fairly trivial.
Standard.
That was just a
Routine
1
jump
yard
shot.
straight jump shot. And I think yellow's in front as well. I think yellow still has a hoop shot, so I think we'll see red clearing black to a wide position, and then
Should be on rope.
it could be.
Depends on this clearing.
Yeah, this needs to go to the right spot. That looks good to me.
Really good.
That looks great. Yeah. Here you go. As we spoke about earlier, the run to put it on when it's wired. So, unless yellow is tricky, you've got to come through the back of this hoop and try and clear. I think yellow looks fairly runnable.
I think we're gonna have to see a.
This is coming through the back, isn't it?
Yep, has to be.
Oh, he
wow.
clips it on the outside. Wow.
It's hard to tell from our angle, but obviously he had a piece of yellow.
He couldn't see much of that. I think he probably saw what he could hit.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
Can you see how many people are watching?
158.
It's like we're seeing.
It's going to be wide position, so blue can't clear and stay in front. I think it's not in position, but it just all over anything that comes anywhere near the hoop. So blue could potentially try and get in the draws here.
Looks a little wide there.
He's going wide, yeah.
Short of that.
Firstly, I think he's short of that, and secondly, as much as it's okay tactic, I really only like going wide if I still have a hoop shot.
Yes.
I want to remain in front of a hoop. It just seems completely. Yeah, there's 6 yards position is fine there.
Especially against a guy like Robert, who's not going to pound you to the other side of the wall.
He's not based around power clearing. His game is based around hitting those in the middle every time.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, that wasn't. He's played a brilliant shot to clear yellow out the front of the hoop a couple of shots ago, and then he's just done that. It's an attempt to block that is unsuccessful on blocking blue, but it is perfectly in front of the hoop. I think he's eyeing up a double clearance here.
Just taking a look, especially what red has.
Yeah. If red's got an easy hoop, then it's just blue, but you could, if you can clear black while staying in front, there's another option, but I don't think that's easy.
No, not from that distance.
He's aiming at black. Is he going to try and get both, or is he just trying to get black?
Just going for black.
Just going for black. Blue, yellow stayed around nicely.
Blue's close to red there. I don't know that I'm a big fan of that play. Obviously, doesn't kill him.
Yeah, I think he probably was trying to clear black and have yellow stop on the line of blue at red.
That makes a lot more
it just
sense.
rolled on a little bit further than he wanted to. That's the only thing I can think of, because if he wasn't attempting that, yeah, it doesn't seem like a great shot choice. This looks nice.
Yeah, great shot.
That's really nice, yeah. And let me tell you, if he has that shot to win the match, he will run that one.
We feel pretty comfortable about that.
He's
one.
given himself a shot that is within range. This is long. Wow.
I think he was going to hide from yellow with red, but
Potentially.
um,
Now I'd be looking to hit the left-hand side of blue and send it up to the boundary, but I
Yeah, but
don't think that's going to be. What could he do here? He could try and
I think for
snuggle
him,
up
he's
to
going
blue.
to try to either snuggle to blue
Or block.
or block.
Do you want to block the hoop or the ball? I think he's going to try and block the ball.
Based on
Oh, he's blocking the
blocking the
hoop.
hoop.
Looks like it.
With placing so close to black, I think I would much rather block the ball. Especially, you know, Yasser's had a couple of misses on hoops.
If you play closer to blue, you can block both things,
True.
and you're not near black anymore. You can block both balls, both shots with red, and you're no longer near black. But as it is, Yasser failed to clear with control, and blue's miles away. So
Yep. Red just needs a good position.
it needs to make sure it doesn't leave a double clearance.
That's right.
The only thing you can't do here is leave a double clearance.
That's a good shot.
Just. I don't think there's anything there. No angle for the double clearance.
No.
It's close, but that was an early
One
call.
more roll.
That was an early call.
It was.
You're saying that
It
was
was. One more roll and it could have been very different.
I think he's got to give it a try though. Unless he can get in the draws, he's got to try this double clearance, but I don't think it's on.
I think it seems he's looking at red. Okay, he's going.
He's trying to figure out the angle, see if it is possible. Look, he's looking over at red now. If you can't get the double clearance, it's no.
I don't like
I
this.
don't like this at all. You absolutely have to hold position here.
Okay. Even if you do.
No, he hasn't held position, and now Robert's got a 2-yard relatively straight hoop.
Yeah.
So basically, there he
Even if
determined that he'd lost.
Yes. Even if he did hold
can't-
position, you know, 2 yards straight in front hoop for.
Yeah,
The
I'd
match.
prefer if he tried to get in the jaws and failed. It would be better than that. You give it
Absolutely.
at least give it a go. That was bizarre.
Or like you said, go for the double
Yeah,
clearance.
if you don't get it, you don't get it. Yeah.
Great shot.
Right.
And that is the
That's
match.
the match.
So superb positional play by Rob. Takes the match 5-7, 7-4.
7-3. And we'll be back in a few minutes once we've decided which lawn to cover next.
Hi everyone. We are going to stop the streaming now. We're going to start again at 2 o'clock. I hope you've enjoyed this morning's commentary and video, and we'll see you soon.